Well, guys, welcome to hurricane season, where wild things happen overnight, and we get major hurricane upgrades overnight. So we now have a ridiculous Cat 4 hurricane, almost a Cat 5 hurricane overnight. We went from a tropical storm, guys, yesterday morning at this time, to a Category 4 hurricane 24 hours later. It is absolutely remarkable how quickly these storms intensify with the conditions that are out there. No shear, no dry air, just warm water temperatures, a very, very hostile environment. We talked about this leading up to this event here. This is almost making a run at a Cat 5. I wouldn't argue that this would be a Cat 5 hurricane at some time point this morning before this undergoes an eye wall replacement cycle. I will let you guys know it is almost outside the cone. It is shifting west southwest right now. Stronger storms do typically do that. This was forecasted to start to turn northwest. It was supposed to be a little bit of a weaker storm. This wasn't supposed to be a Cat 4 hurricane until tomorrow. So the fact that we jumped 85 miles per hour winds overnight is just absolutely insane. Also, if you guys can't tell, I'm still sick. I'm gross, so just bear with me. I feel like crap, but we're going to get on here. We're going to do an update as we always typically do for you guys. I appreciate you guys. Also, I don't know why TikTok just flagged me, but that makes no sense. We'll see if they approve it. I don't know why they do that. It's so stupid. They're like, you're directing people off your platform. I literally didn't even talk. And they threw that up on me. So we'll see if they do that. If I need to reset TikTok stream, I will. It's stupid that they do that. But anyways, while we wait for that to come in here, hold on a second. I literally didn't. My intro was for like 5 minutes, and the second I put my screen on, it does that. I haven't mentioned one thing about any other platforms. That's wild. Dude, I don't know what this is. I am just disgusted at what I have right now. Rochelle's sick. I'm sick. The kids are fine. But I feel like it's either a cold or allergy. It's definitely not allergies. It's something else. Because I felt like crap the last 2 days. I don't know what it was. I couldn't even get on here, guys. I haven't been live in 2 days. I haven't been able to get on live and do an update yesterday. I didn't get to do one yesterday. The day before that, I felt like crap. And I still feel like crap. So I don't know what is going around this morning, but Jesus. All right, let's take a look at recon here. Latest advisories here this morning. Pressure down to 935. I went to bed last night, and this thing was a 972 Cat 2 hurricane. It dropped over 40 millibars in pressure overnight, which is just absolutely insane. I am once again just blown away with what we're looking at here this morning. It shocks me every time I look at this thing. Once again, good news is this is not coming to the United States or any land masses. This is going to split the East Coast. I am concerned a little bit for the west track that we're seeing right now, so we're going to have to see how far this thing tracks west. But Jesus Christ, Erin is on something this morning. I don't know what it's tapped into, but it is on something. So Jesus, literally. Here is the latest advisory from this morning. They do have recon in there now. I wouldn't be shocked to see this get upgraded to a 160 Cat 5 hurricane, just given the recon. We're seeing pressure continue to drop out of this thing. It's almost remarkable that we're seeing this happen this morning. So I know I've been doing a lot of research on other systems to kind of compare to, and there's not really any out there. So if this does become a Cat 5 hurricane, guys, this will in fact be the strongest hurricane in this basin in many, 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 many years. So it's not supposed to hit Bermuda, and it's not supposed to hit the East Coast. I'm very interested to watch how this trends today, just because of the fact that it is almost outside the cone. It is going west instead of northwest right now. You can clearly see the west shift. I mean, that is a pinhole eye right there. But it is headed west instead of northwest, and this was the latest cone at 7 o'clock this morning. Let me pull this up. As you can see, it's almost outside the cone. It's not moving northwest like it's supposed to do. It is eventually going to move northwest. It might just make that turn a little bit later. Some of the ensembles and some of the guidance did suggest a later western turn, so we'll have to see how this goes. No, I'm not worried about this hitting Florida. I'm not worried about this hitting the United States right now. That's not going to be a thing. What I am worried about, though, is how far west does this go? Does this slam into Puerto Rico? That's my concern. And the Dominican Republic here. That's my issue. How far west does this trend before it goes northwest like it's supposed to go? So we'll have to see what happens with that. We are also, guys, and you're going to hate me for saying this, we are watching another system behind this, and if you guys have seen the GFS model, if you've seen already, yes, we already have a major hurricane out here. If you've seen the GFS model, it is putting a major hurricane on the southeast coastline again next week at this time. I know it's crazy. Don't just we'll talk about that in a little bit when that needs to be talked about. But that system will have a better shot at becoming a landfall than any other system that we've had so far this year. So we're going to have to wait on that. I am still waiting for TikTok to let me know if they're going to approve my appeal or not. I don't know why it's been doing that, and it's absolutely annoying. So we will see what happens with that. Yeah, there's nothing right now behind Erin, but the models say otherwise. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I don't see a northwest movement in this. This is definitely moving west. Latest advisory this morning is west-northwest, 20 miles per hour here. We will probably get a special upgrade to a Cat 5 if this does in fact hit that status. And we got planes in there now. I'm going to turn on the Hurricane Hunter plane so we can see if this is dropping. Pressure was last ran through at 936. Yeah, I was going to say west-southwest is what I was seeing with it too, which is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let me turn this on here and we can take a look at this here. Yeah, she's not shifting northwest. That's not a problem. It's a big problem, I think, personally. Here's our plane. Let's see what they got. God, look at that pinhole eye. I think it's in something. So, wow, 143 knot flight level winds. Let me do some math here. Hold on a second. That was the last run through. Yeah, that's a southwest wobble. Still southwest. This is a Cat 5 if this wind is right. 134 knots. Sorry, 143 knots transitions to 164 mile an hour winds. Subtract about 5 to 10 because it needs to go down to the surface. This should be a Cat 5. We should get a bump up. We should be looking at our first Cat 5 of the year. So here's the deal, guys. We went from a Cat 2 to potentially a Cat 5 this morning. Why is the reason why it's happening? Warm water temperatures. It's just the warm water. That's what fuels these storms. No shear, no dry air, just warm water. That's all it takes. This is hurricane season for you. The water is boiling over here, basically. It's not heading towards North Carolina now. As scary as this looks, no. We need to take a look at the pressure on this, too. I'm very curious on what they just got out of this. Yeah, if this is right, 143 knots, this transitions to 164 mile per hour winds. This should be a Cat 5. So we'll wait and see if they upgrade this to a Cat 5. I would think they would. If we get a Cat 5 hurricane upgrade, this will be the fastest rapid intensifying hurricane, I believe, in the Atlantic Basin on record. I will double check that information for you guys and put that in a video later today, but this should break all records. Very close to it. So we'll see what happens here with this. They're going to have to do something with the cone, too. I'm waiting for them to officially... Yep, pressure dropped to 925 millibars. Absolutely impressive. This is a Cat 5. Has to be. Has to be. Has to be. Connor, what's up, bud? 925 millibars. That is the only model run that suggested this. I believe Connor was the icon, right? But it didn't have it doing this till tomorrow. So not a single model run or ensemble suggested this. I'm pretty sure, correct? If I'm right on that, correct? I think so. This is insane. This is something. That's what I thought. Yeah, not a single ensemble, not a single hurricane model. And once again, we are almost outside the cone. Guys, we're almost outside the cone. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. So we should get a bump up. We'll wait and see if we get a special advisory on this. But Jesus, 900. It dropped 11 millibars in the last hour. Again. So we went from 972 when I posted my video last night at midnight to 925 this morning. Just, I have no words for that. Sky Paradise with the subscription. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you guys. Can we get some W's in the chat for Sky? Hold on, y'all. Also, good morning, Justin. Good morning, bro, over on YT. I appreciate you guys. No, guys, here's the deal. When you have a rapid intensifying storm, it's going to do what it wants to do. The mechanisms that are pushing this thing north have not quite yet acted upon our storm. It's still more than likely going to shift northwest. I don't see this coming to the United States. It's just going to take a little bit longer for it to go northwest because it's such a massive storm and it's so strong. When these storms go into rapid intensification, it takes a lot longer for these storms to get pulled to the north. So therefore, our outliers and our model runs that were suggesting a little bit of a later westerly, northwesterly turn, will more than likely come into play now. That's more than likely what's going to happen. We'll get a cone update in about an hour-ish. Am I concerned about severe weather today? There's a low-end severe weather threat up in the Midwest today. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. I mean, Jesus, dude. They're going to have to do something with this. This is something. I'm just going to keep refreshing until we get an update on this, but wow. 925. Yeah, the lower the millibars. Yeah, so right now, if the calculations are correct, we should be looking at a Cat 5 upgrade coming. Pressure's down to 925. It dropped another 11 millibars in an hour, and wind speeds have gone up to 164. So, I'm actually curious what the top record is right now on this, because we might be shattering some records today, guys. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, we won't be breaking. We shouldn't break 900 millibars. I'd be shocked if we did. If we got a sub 900 millibar before October, I'd be shocked. If you guys remember, Milton last year made landfall as a an 897. That wind speed was 185. So 185 was what we set record as last year. Strongest hurricane on record in the Atlantic Basin was Wilma in 2005. That was 882 with wind speeds pushing 200. So, yeah. So we're not anywhere near that status yet, but this is still going to go down as one of the strongest storms this early in the season for sure. You guys are probably looking at a Cat 5 right now. We should get a Cat 5 upgrade. Should. Yeah, with that fly through that we just had, 143 knots, that transitions to about, oh geez, 160 mile per hour winds. Yeah. Is hurricane season anything like our spring tornado season this year? Hopefully not. We'll see. We'll see what happens the rest of the year. We still have 2.5 months. Guys, I'm gonna reset the TikTok stream because I have yet to get word back on this. If you're on TikTok, come right back. I'll be right back, guys. Dude, you're telling me, bro. It's wild to me what the Atlantic Ocean can do. You know, you're gonna have your people that sit here and say it's weather modification and it's HARP, and it's not, because that's not how that works. Um, but it's just truly amazing, the force of Mother Nature. It blows my mind every time. We sit here and we have these historic events, and these historic events repeat after repeat, when in reality it's normal at this point. Hi, by the way, Samantha. Good to see you. Yes.
Whoa, dude. I said
Dude.
to my stream last night, I was like, I think we'll have a Cat 5 tomorrow, but not until like late. And then I wake up in the morning and
I know, I
it
rolled
was like,
over at
what is
7:30 and I
happening?
saw the advisory and I thought I was seeing things. I thought I was looking at like the Pacific Ocean or something. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what?"
925? I went to
Yeah.
bed and it was 979.
I know, I posted my video last night. It was 9:72 and I went to bed at 1 and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what?"
Dude, no, that has to be. I mean,
It's going to go down as top
that.
3 is rapid
That's like over
intensification.
50 millibars
Yeah.
in like 7 hours.
Are you concerned about the west track that it's taking right now?
I'm still not concerned.
Nah,
I'm still
yeah,
not
it's going to
concerned.
have to get tugged to the north.
It could go west for another 400 miles.
Yeah.
It would still probably not make landfall.
Yeah.
So as of right now, I'm still not concerned. But Have you looked at updated spaghetti models?
The GEFS doesn't even match up with anything right now. There's not a single thing that's matching up. They've got this thing already supposed to be north already. All the ensembles, the
Yeah.
60 has this thing north.
Is
So,
that
a
an issue? I
little
don't
bit.
know.
Yeah, I'll see. I'm interested to see I mean, the Recon's going to be in there for a while. We might get close to what we had last year with Milton if this keeps going. It doesn't look like it's going to go through an eyewall anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly. I was the icon, Canadian and GFS all show that second storm, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. We'll be talking another one this time next week, and this time it'll be a concern.
Yeah, I think so.
This is why I love hurricane season, but I hate hurricane season at the same time. Yes, chat. By the way, say hi to Connor. This is Connor.
What's going on?
But yeah, this is
That
something.
this is incredible. Yeah, I have to figure out because I do think that this is probably the fastest rapid intensification in history out there.
I'm pretty sure too. 80 because yesterday at this time we didn't get the Cat 1 upgrade until 11 o'clock advisory yesterday, and it was sitting at 70 yesterday morning. So this has undergone almost 100-mile-an-hour
Yeah.
wind increase, 110 in 24 hours. Yeah, that I would say this is
And if you're talking about wind and not just millibars,
correct.
consider it 30 miles per hour in 24 hours.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's a triple rapid intensification almost.
Insane. All right, well, you motivated me to get up, make
Let's
a video,
go.
and go live in a little bit. So
Let's
that's what
go.
I'm doing.
I'm still sick, but we're doing it.
All right,
All right, sounds good, bud.
see ya.
That's Connor, guys. He's freaking awesome. Listen, me and Connor feed off of each other, and we motivate each other so much. Amazing. It's just amazing. We do it. He's like you motivated me to get up. I love it. So the mission yeah, that sounds about right as well, bro. We're gonna wait for an upgrade. We should have a category 5 upgrade coming here, guys. Rapid intensification, pull it further to the west. Yes, correct. I'm not, as Connor just mentioned too, guys. You guys was hearing what he was saying. This could continue west for another 300 to 400 miles, and it's still not concerning. It's going to have to make the northwesterly turn. There is a huge trough that's going to be digging in. This thing, it may just take a little bit longer for it to turn northwest, which is what some of the ensembles and models were showing in previous days. This just went through like I said, guys, when you have warm water temperatures and you have no shear and no dry air, it's going to do what it's going to do. This is something we see a lot here recently. It's just perfect conditions out there. We are watching a historic storm in the making here, guys, which is just insane as well. The damage to the islands, I'm a little bit concerned if this were to continue a little bit west here. Some of these outer bands are about to bring in some tropical storm force winds. We could get a 70-plus mile-an-hour wind gust over here near San Juan. I think it's possible, but this should stay well to the north of them. We'll just have to watch it and see what happens. Yeah, Erin's already insane. I mean, guys, once again, we are more than likely looking at a Cat 5 hurricane right now. Pressure is at 925 millibars. Wind speeds are up to 164. I don't know if it's reaching the surface all the way yet, so we'll see what that next advisory will be. But I'm telling you guys, this is something. And just to make things even better, guys, every single model run is showing a system next week right behind this. But this system next week will be potentially heading toward the U.S. All right, now it's not set in stone, but we're going to have a major blocking ridge pattern behind this. Our next storm may not be lucky going out to sea. We may actually get a United States landfall next week. It's very possible, but that's still to be determined. It is a Cat 4, almost a Cat 5. It is sitting at 145 mile per hour winds, but the recon that is in there right now just took a 164, which would put this well over the Cat 5 limit, if that is true. Yeah, there's always, guys, here's the deal. There is always going to be error in weather, but when you have what's called a Bermuda high to the east that's weakening, a high pressure up here in the plains, and a low to the north, it has to get pulled to the north at some point. Stronger systems take a little bit longer to steal to the north, so this could get closer to the east coast, but there is not a single model run or ensemble that is suggesting a landfalling system. We will watch it and track it all the way through its life to see what happens with it. If something changes, we'll let you guys know, but right now it is not expected to make landfall anywhere in the United States or in Bermuda. It is expected to split. So we will just see what happens at this point. But yeah, just because the storm intensifies quickly before forecasted, and trends a little bit further to the west does not mean it's coming to the U.S. So the day that I get concerned about that is the day you guys can get concerned, but I am not concerned about that right now. And Connor just validated me on that as well. Yes, the center is about to be out of the cone, correct. But we did, like I said, have some model guidance over the last couple days that did suggest a further west trend. The icon was one of them. So we should get a cone update here in the next hour as well. So once that cone update comes in, we'll probably see this cone shifted to the west. But yes, I know a lot of people are concerned that it's shifting outside the cone. Like I said earlier, this could go for another 400 miles to the west before it needs to turn. If we're looking at this thing still east of the Bahamas and it hasn't turned by tomorrow, then I'll start to get concerned. But right now, I'm not concerned. I still see this going northwest. It's going to have to. Yeah, Marty, I was watching the storm tops last night too, dude. It was impressive as heck. Correct, Kelly. Correct. I believe this as well. I believe it'll trend west. Stronger storms trend west longer before they get pulled to the north when you have the setting like this, the steering pattern. Hey, Shin, that's okay. I've got people on my weather team that have hurricane parties in Florida. Don't feel bad, dude. Don't feel bad. Hurricane season is exciting, but what's not exciting is when it does do damage. But this is something, guys. You can't tell me right now that anybody was forecasting a Cat 5 this morning. I wasn't. I was. My forecasts were out, or this threw anything out of the park. This is definitely something impressive. I think it already did, Brian. It's already gone over 100. If this gets upgraded to a Cat 5 on the next update here, which I believe it is, we're sitting at 925 millibars worth of pressure. This will go down, I think, as top 3, if not top 2. This is definitely incredible. I think this also contests potentially Milton from last year as well. This would definitely put Milton up for contention that we had last year. Milton was a Cat 5 bomb. Was down to 897 millibars last year. What conditions would it need to track more west? The conditions it's in. We haven't quite yet see the trough to the north yet pull down and lift this thing to the north. That's kind of what we're waiting on. As you guys know, we've had systems in many recent years that have defied the cone and done what they're supposed to do. These storms are not confined to the cone. We all know that. But a U.S. landfall and a Bermuda landfall right now are still, they're not 0%. We all know that. They're not 0%. But it's not likely that we're going to have a landfall in the United States with this system. It's going to have to get pulled to the north. If this doesn't get pulled to the north and we get a U.S. landfall, I will stop being a meteorologist and become a therapist at that point, because then my brain cells will be fried. And I mean that full-heartedly. I will need therapy at that point. Everything that I've learned over my childhood and growing up through school will be thrown out the window. Correct. The models are, what's the word here? The models have error, yes. But we did have model runs a couple days ago that were showing a far western track. The icon model is the only model right now that is, I guess, sort of validating in terms of where this is tracking at right now. But just because it shifts a couple miles to the west doesn't mean it's not going to shift north, guys. We should see that shift north here soon. It's just going to take a little bit longer because this storm went under rapid intensification so quickly. If the National Hurricane Center was worried about this system going to the Gulf, they would have, or going to the East Coast, they would have, done something already about it. So they can put updates out whenever they want. So I don't think so, OCN. I can't say no. Like I said, I can't say no to that. I can't say no, we're not going to get an East Coast landfall, but it's unlikely. It's very unlikely. That's wild, Big. That's absolutely wild. You can go away for that comment. And then you have people in the comment section that want a U.S. landfall, which makes absolutely no sense to me. All right, let's see if they did an update on this. Yep, still sitting Cat 4. This is just 9-mile-per-hour winds shy of Cat 5 status. We're just going to keep looking at the recon coming in. What a drop in pressure. 936 to 926. That is remarkable, guys. Absolutely remarkable. We are more than likely looking at a Cat 5 hurricane in less than a 24-hour time period. Guys, remember this, okay? This was a Category 1 hurricane yesterday morning at 11 a.m. We are talking less than 24 hours later, a Cat 5 hurricane upgrade almost. That is just insane. No shear, no dry air, very warm water temperatures. This is what's going to happen every single time. Anytime you have a system out here in the Atlantic Ocean, it's going to do that. Just wild. It was forecast to be a 4, but rapid intensification can say otherwise. We have model runs that did suggest a Cat 5. We have model runs that suggested a 905 pressure reading as well. So, We knew going into this event that the ceiling for Erin is very, very high, and we're reaching that ceiling. So yeah, there's a lot of people that are comparing this to Dorian as well. That is a good comparison. I can agree with that. There, that makes a lot of sense. Katrina was a different steering pattern. You had a high pressure ridge to the north, which it had to be forced to the west. Once again, guys, I can't say it's not going to hit the East Coast. For everybody in the chat that's saying that it's going to hit the East Coast, it's going to hit the East Coast. I don't know the answer to that. Nobody knows the answer to that. It's just a very small percentage. We're supposed to see this thing pull to the north. Is it going to pull to the north? More than likely, yes. It's just going to take some longer time to pull to the north. So I know a lot of people are freaking out, and a lot of you guys are worried. Like I said, if I'm not concerned about it, you guys shouldn't be concerned about it. If your local Mets are not concerned about it, I'm not concerned. We'll see what the next advisory is. We'll go from there. We'll take it one step at a time. This is why we tell you guys, though, if you're on the East Coast, like we've been saying all week, that people that have been brushing it off and saying nothing's going to happen, to be prepared regardless. If you're on the East Coast, you need to be prepared regardless, even if it's not coming or if it is coming. Because next week might be a whole different story when we got another system behind this coming its way. It's definitely not hitting the East Coast, but okay. Cool. I just love how people just come in here and just have their opinion on that. That's crazy. I would love somebody to send me a long paragraph on why they think it's going to hit the East Coast and give me some meteorological breakdowns on that, please. Please, please, please. But if you're on the East Coast, you need to be prepared regardless. You guys should know that. We've seen wild things happen in the past. The next system will be coming off the Africa coast as well. Yes, that should be by tomorrow. We should be getting an AOI here soon. Yeah, I would love the data that everybody is talking about. I would love somebody to send me the data that shows it's going to the East Coast, because there's not a single ensemble or model run that has a landfall on the East Coast. And I'm going to go off of that before I go off of somebody's opinion. I don't mean that in a rude way. I'm just being serious with you guys. If you guys in chat are going to say it's going to hit the East Coast, but give me that data, please. I'd love to see it. But if you're on the East Coast, you need to be prepared regardless. That's what I've been literally telling you guys for days now. Storms can do what they want to do with the conditions that are out there. You guys know that as much as I do. I can't say it's not going to hit land. I cannot say that answer. It's very unlikely, though. The MDR has awakened with a bang. Literally, it has. It really has, though. Like I said, it's not me trying to be rude to you guys. It's just I don't like people in chat that are going to sit here and say it's going to hit the East Coast when it's not. When there's no data to prove that. If it starts looking like it's going to go west and it's not going to turn, then we'll talk about it. But there's no data that proves that that's a thing. All right, let's see. We're going to get another run through here on the plains here in just a moment. We're going to see what happens. Ohio looks beautiful this morning, Jan. A little bit of storms out there, though. What's up, Kendall? Let me tell you guys this, too. I've had some messages this morning. Here's the most funniest thing that really cracks me up. They're flying planes into this to rapidly intensify that. Do you know how stupid that sounds? That is something I've had people message me this morning. I've had people say, oh, it's HARP, it's weather modification. There is nothing that can go into this thing to make this thing rapidly intensify. It is fed off of warm water temperatures. You can't put iodine. You can't do anything to rapidly intensify a tropical system. It just does not happen. That has been proven fact. If there's also somebody out there that would love to send me an article that says that cloud seeding and weather modification can allow for storms and hurricanes to be steered, or they can be rapidly intensified, I'd love to see that also. That's another thing that I've been told this morning as well. So apparently that's another thing. Yeah, cloud seeding can cause a pressure drop of 60 millibars in less than 12 hours. That's wild. I definitely will become a therapist if that's true. Correct, Houston. Correct as well on that. Absolutely. Kenny, I don't know if you're joking or if you're being serious, dude, but that's wild. All right. I know, right, Kendall? Kenny, I do my research on a daily basis, bud, and I'm also in med school. That's not been something that's ever been proven, bud. It's been actually disproven. At this point, it's just conspiracy theories and people's opinions. This is Hurricane Erin, guys. So we are waiting on the next update. We are more than likely looking at a Cat 5. More than likely. Once again, guys, I know everybody is in here and they're looking at the cone and seeing that it's moving west and not northwest. It takes time for a storm this size to turn, okay? When you have error in models sometimes, which happens, okay? We had some models that were showing a further west trend, like the Icon, like some of the other ensembles that were outliers, that we have to still account for because they can happen. It's happened before. It takes longer. It takes longer for a stronger storm to turn north. So it is still expected to turn north. There's no landfall. There's not any of that expected. It's just going to take a little bit longer. So when all of you guys are sitting in here next week and this thing is, you know, all the way up in the northern Atlantic and it doesn't make a landfall and you guys are thinking, oh, my conspiracy theories are telling me that this is going to move, you know, to the United States. It's not going to go out to sea. Then you're going to be like, oh, shoot, I should have listened to Ms. Matt. I get that. I get that. Yeah. I cover every storm, guys. I cover every single storm, whether it's a fish storm or not. That's me. That's my platform. So just because it's being talked about a lot doesn't mean it's going to come to the United States. And that might be also what people are seeing as well, because so many people are reporting on it and covering it because it's a big deal, because it is a big deal. We got a Cat 5 hurricane almost sitting in the north of the Puerto Rico right now. It's going to be talked about. It's a monster storm. When you do weather content like I do, and you're in school and you do this for a living, you're going to talk about it. You have to talk about it. You can't just keep your mouth shut on stuff like this. I mean, people think that I'm just spitting out garbage and what I say doesn't matter, but it does. You're going to listen to any other meteorologist or your local meteorologist, they're going to say the exact same thing. I'm not going to tell you it's coming to the United States when there's no data that proves that it's going to the US. I've done weather coverage, guys, for over 8 years. I've not had a missed call on anything. I've missed on some severe weather, but... Well, that's fine, Tay. That's your opinion. You can trust who you want to trust, but I'm not here to impress everybody or to, you know, make everybody say they have to believe me, but the data shows one thing. I'm not going to go off of somebody else's opinion. Here's my biggest thing. Here is my biggest thing. I cover storms from start to finish. I get on here and I cover severe weather events for 15 to 20 hours at a time. Let me know if your local meteorologists do that. Let me know if your news stations do that, because I'm pretty sure they don't. That is true. Like I said, that's why I'm not ruling out an East Coast landfall, but I'm not saying it's going to happen because I know better than that. I have to be very careful with my words. I have to be very careful with how you present things to people. That's something I know because I've done this for a while. I can't say that it's not going to make a landfall, but then you also have to go with what the data says and say it's unlikely because it is unlikely. I've not once yet in my videos said it's going to make landfall or said it's not going to make landfall, or in my streams, because I know better than that, because there is always that chance that something happens. That's why we tell you guys when there is a system in the Atlantic and it looks like it's going to brush the East Coast or it's going to miss or may near miss, to be prepared regardless. It's y'all's jobs to prepare yourselves if you're on areas that could be impacted. Right now, we have got the whole East Coast from Florida up to the Northeast that are going to see high waves and rip current issues. If this, you know, once again, this is still a good ways away from the United States and it is expected to turn at some point. It just may be a potential closer call. Do you remember, this could still shift to the northwest of the cone. It could shift to the northeast. We still have until Tuesday or Wednesday to watch this thing before I start getting concerned. Yes, there is the potential for another storm behind Erin. We're not going to talk about it too much right now. We'll talk about it here in a little bit. But there is the models, the GFS specifically. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen that floating around on social media. There's people already fear-mongering out there with the next one. But there will be a concern next week for something headed toward our direction that could actually impact us. It's very possible. The Euro, the GFS, every single model run has something on it. It's just over 7 to 10 days out. So we're not going to talk too much on it right now. But once that wave gets highlighted from the National Hurricane Center, we will talk about it. We will be covering that system from start to finish. That one I'm more concerned about if it gets itself together for a United States landfall, because there will be a blocking ridge over the Bermuda area, and we won't have a fish storm next week. We would have a direct impact next week if that were to happen. Erin is more than likely a 5. We are more than likely looking at a Cat 5 right now. Pressure dropped 11 millibars on the latest update. I'm waiting for the next update. We'll get the next update advisory in about 30 minutes. So we are more than likely looking at a Cat 5. Pressure drop to 925 with winds up to 160, I believe, right now is what we're seeing. They're going to do another flyby. We've got the planes in here right now, so we're watching the planes come in. Yeah, it is Houston, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing. The GFS is known for being aggressive. It's going to be aggressive days out. That's what the GFS model does. The Europeans got a little bit weaker. I think the Icon was showing it as well. So the steering mechanism next week will be there for a US landfall if it were to go. If we do in fact get a tropical system that is coming off the coast of Africa in a couple days, really more tomorrow, and it gets itself together just like Erin did, it would head our direction. It wouldn't be able to go out to sea because of the high that's going to be blocking it. But that doesn't mean it's going to, happen yet. We got to wait. Tay, you don't know that, though. That's the thing. Tay, I mean, no disrespect, but I would love to know where you're getting your information from. There's a lot of fear-mongering out there, and there's a lot of false information from people that don't know what they're talking about, that don't even do weather content, or at least are in school for meteorology, that are just doing it to get clickbait and get views. So if you guys are seeing those videos and you're listening to that information, I would suggest listening to somebody that actually knows what they're talking about, like myself or other people. There's just so much of it. I have posted so many videos talking about the false information, and it's hurricane season. It happens every single year. I've done this for 8 years. It's very normal. It's just frustrating and it sucks. Yes, it is going south of the cone now. We'll see a cone recorrection here in just a little bit. It's going to be outside the cone here in a minute. Once again, stronger systems do pull west longer before they turn northwest. That does happen. We're going to see what the next advisory is. We'll talk about the next cone here. I'm getting updates as we go, so if anything changes, you guys will know. This is why we had somebody in my chat the other day said, "Why are you covering it if it's a fish storm?" Because this is the reason why. Because changes happen. It's not a set stone. Yeah, so that's the biggest thing too, guys. If this storm, which the models had forecasted to be stronger at some point, was stronger before the forecast was valid, we would see the high pressure to the north influence it and push it more to the west. So this will still take a northern turn once that trough comes in out of Canada and sweeps it up. Fish storm means it wouldn't hit land, yes. There's still going to be impacts to the east coast and towards Bermuda. We'll just have to kind of wait and see what those impacts are going to be. I appreciate it, Mark. I appreciate you guys. Everyone, YT, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, that's the thing. People that believe in weather conspiracy theories, not saying people can't have their opinions because they're allowed to, clearly, but people that believe in weather conspiracy theories typically will justify their answers to make anything valid, which makes a lot of sense. I see it in my videos all the time. I see it in my streams all the time. It happens. That's just how that works. There's no trying to convince somebody that's got a weather conspiracy theory. It's just not going to change their opinion. I will tell you guys, this is just a impressive storm. I am just blown away at it. Let's go to look at the actual satellite imagery here and look at this thing. Jesus Christ. Beautiful. You guys can't tell me this does not make you love weather. You can't tell me this doesn't. I mean, this is my favorite part of hurricane season, is watching these storms out in the ocean, and you just get this. It's insane. I mean, I personally, guys, I went to bed at 1 o'clock this morning, and it was a Cat 2 hurricane. Woke up this morning. I did a double take. I looked at my phone, and I looked at the advisory that was out for the 8 a.m., and I said, wait, what? It's a Cat 4? What? I was like, shoot, I got to get up. I got to make a video, and I got to go to the stream, and we got to cover this. I don't care if I'm sick. I'm still sick, so. Oh, God. And then you get people like that in the stream. Come on. Guys, if you're going to talk about weather modification, you can go to another stream. I don't do that crap in here. Sorry. Correct. Science, not conspiracy theories. 100%. I will have Rochelle look at it, Justin, when she gets up. It may be. I'll have her look at it. Liv, it is hurricane season. I get some of the most disrespectful people in my comment section during hurricane season just because they think they know everything. That's how it goes. It's just that simple. I've done this for so long, it doesn't faze me anymore. It just doesn't faze me. I don't care. Sometimes I'll call people out on it. It's funny. I appreciate you guys, though, that are very respectful in chat. You guys are awesome. I appreciate it. So we're going to get another flyby. We're going to wait and see if pressure has dropped again on Erin here. We should be getting an advisory here very, very soon. I'm surprised they didn't do a special advisory on this here. So recon is still in there. God, this is just something. Looks like a chocolate donut. Once again, guys, it is not expected to hit the East Coast. It is not. If there was concern for that, we would already have alerts and stuff going out for that. But there is not a concern. There were models and there are ensembles that forecasted a stronger storm at this time, having it track a little bit further to the west before it went northwest. Tay, you can believe in both. I believe in both. It does. It looks like a chocolate donut. We are more than likely, like I said, guys, we should get a Cat 5 upgrade on the next run. We're going to have another plane come through here in just a few minutes. This should still stay north of Puerto Rico. It is on a west track, but it should stay north of Puerto Rico. Should stay north. You guys are still under tropical storm warnings, I believe. We'll take a look here at it. Hold on. So you guys see this cone, right? Yeah, we do still have tropical storm warnings down here. You guys see this cone. So the cone means it can go as far southwest as the cone. Sometimes it can go out, just depends on how strong it is. Or it could go far northeast. This is why we tell you guys to be prepared on the East Coast, because if it were to stay further to the west or a little bit outside, there would be more impacts in terms of surf and rip currents, and then maybe even some tropical storm force winds on the East Coast of North Carolina. But once again, there is not a directional head toward the East Coast situation here right now. If that changes, I will let you guys know the second it happens. But this is, once again, why I tell you guys, when we are watching storms days out, there is always the chance for error. There's always a chance for something else to happen. It's weather. It changes constantly, clearly. Sometimes doesn't go as forecasted. That's the luck of forecasting weather. It's going to happen. But you guys not being prepared on the East Coast and brushing it off like some people do and thinking it's not going to happen, that's the problem. Yeah, the eye wall is insane. That is a watch. I know it's tropical storm watches. I did notice that. It's a watch, not a warning down there. That's my bad. Very, very impressive. This thing looked like crap yesterday. It looked like garbage yesterday morning. It wasn't even a hurricane yet. We were still looking at a tropical storm yesterday morning. My weather team that's in here, I told you guys this was going to be a historical, professional-looking storm, and it's definitely doing that. That's for sure. I said, watch, guys, give Erin 2 days, and boom, Cat 5. Once again, no shear, no dry air, just warm boiling water temperatures. You're going to get this every time. This is my issue, is if we get a storm going into the Gulf this year with the water temperatures are in the Gulf that are warmer than the ones over here in the Central Atlantic. We haven't even gotten to the warmest part of the Atlantic Ocean yet. It was a tropical storm at this time yesterday morning. It didn't reach Cat 1 hurricane status until 11 o'clock yesterday morning. We've gone from a tropical storm to a pretty much almost a Cat 5 hurricane in less than 24 hours. Talk about rapid intensification. Absolutely impressive. Absolutely impressive. It does too, Houston. Yep. It does. This will go down as one of the most quickest rapid intensifying storms in history on the Atlantic Basin. They shouldn't, Kim, as of now. I'll know more of an answer on that tomorrow and Monday when it starts to make that turn. It just depends on how far west it goes, because it is outside the cone now. Once again, I know it's outside the cone and everybody's saying, oh, it's going to go to the United States. It's going to go to the United States. Once again, a stronger storm will steer west further under a high pressure influence. That is basic meteorology. It will take a north turn at some point. It's just, when does that happen? The northern turn has been a question mark for days now. We don't know when it's going to happen. It just impacts. It's the influence of a high pressure ridge to the north and a trough coming down out of Canada. I know everybody thinks it's going to the East Coast, and it's not. Hold on, y'all. I'm still very, very sick, so bear with me here. All right. Tay, I don't like your attitude. You're getting out of here, dude. Mods, can somebody take care of that person, please? I'm over that person trying to cause issues in stream. Thank you, Katie. I appreciate that. I've been drinking tea. You guys can hear I sound like crap. I wasn't able to get on and do a live stream yesterday, and I wasn't able to get on and do a live stream the day before. So I said, screw it. We're going to get on this morning. We have to. Yeah, that's what I'm interested too on Faith, is we haven't reached the warmest water temperatures yet either. I think this storm's got to run to go sub-9. I could see it happening. We're at 925 millibar pressure readings right now. Hurricane Recon's going to go through again on this. We could easily go sub-9 on this on today before this is over with, I think. That's what I was drinking. I was drinking tea just a few minutes ago. I could see tropical storm force winds if this were to continue further west on the Outer Banks, but I'm not too certain yet. It's almost a Cat 5. Yeah, we probably are looking at a Cat 5 on the next upgrade, on the next update here. We'll get a new update in about 20 minutes. So I will show you guys here. This is our modeling. The icon model is the only model to show a farther west track, which is the outlier model supposedly. So makes me think the icon model might actually be right on this one. So here's the icon model. None of the models right now have the rapid intensification of our pressure where it's at. So the models are going to be wrong on the strength, but this is what the icon did. This is why we have to watch every single model, every single ensemble. The icon has a closer East Coast system. That's the one that I'm watching. Was the icon. The icon will be potentially on the righter side of things if this continues west. We'll see. GFS already had a turn. European already had a turn. Icon has it further to the west. We'll see which one validates. But they've got pressure drop into sub 910 on the icon, which is crazy. I can look here. Let me look and see what it's doing on that. Unlikely though, correct. As of right now, yes. Yeah, so the ridge up here to the north is influencing on the west track still, and you'll see that ridge, and then eventually it'll get pulled out to sea. It's just going to be a very close call. This trough right here is what's going to pull Erin out to sea. It just may not move in until a little bit later. But that is the pulling mechanism on how Erin gets steered out. It's going to be very close. Yeah, it will be a very close call if this continues to trend west. 100%. Heck yeah, Kendra. No, Florida's out of play with this one, guys. This is not going to Florida. I don't see it going to Florida. Now, the system behind it, we'll talk about that later. The system behind it is concerning to me, but we'll be talking more about that as we go into next week. The system behind this has not quite yet formed. I know, I woke up this morning and I said, damn, Erin, what the hell are you on? Excuse me. Just a remarkable storm to watch. It's crazy. So I post updates very often, guys. I do weather content. I'm a meteorology student. I do this 24/7. This is literally my life. You can ask my weather team in chat. I sit at this desk and I have 4 screens up. I watch this all day long. So when updates need to be done, I'll do updates. I live stream as much as I can. I will be getting off here around 11 o'clock this morning, 11:30ish, because I have stuff I got to get done. But I'll be doing updates later on tonight again. We'll have updates throughout the day. I'll do video updates throughout the day. I cover all 50 states weather. I cover all winter weather. I literally I'm basically almost a degreed meteorologist, but not a degree meteorologist yet. We're getting there. Yes, Recon is in right now. We have Recon in right now, so they'll be making a swoop through here in just a few minutes. We'll go back to satellite here this morning. How about that? Jeez Louise, talking about a buzzsaw. So this is something, guys. Like I said, it does not get any crazier than this during hurricane season. And so glad this is not making a landfall. I'm just beyond glad. We would have catastrophic problems if this made a landfall. I'm interested when they're going to put a new AOI out, too. Faith next week. You might have another system to worry about potentially. We'll see. Yeah, it's very impressive. I don't know the answer to that, Yaz. I think you're going to be fine, though. I would say that, Toothless. I could agree with that. It's more about pressure. The pressure drops, wind speed goes up. But we should have a Cat 5 upgrade on the next update, which should be in about 15 to 20 minutes. We'll get a new cone as well, guys. I can't answer that one either, Chelney. If you guys are going on vacation to Puerto Rico or Florida or any of these East Coast islands next week, that's when you need to be watching us, because we're gonna be covering the next system. If it does in fact validate next week, we could be looking at another scenario next week, except that one may be coming our direction. Yeah, ask questions and learn, guys. I love to teach. I'm not a fully degree meteorologist, but I've got a lot of knowledge on my mind in terms of being in school for it and stuff. So I've been doing weather coverage for a very long time. Feel free to ask questions. I'll answer them. I think you'll be fine, Remy. J Remvi, I think you'll be fine. I don't know though, honestly. That's a hard one. Yeah, I'm in online schooling, yeah. Storms wobble when they intensify too, so she's still on a west track, which is interesting. I'm just keep refreshing for updates here. But if you guys need updates, we'll be keeping you guys updated throughout entirety. Jesus, this has got to be a Cat 5. I mean, we're pushing winds probably 160 plus on the southern eye wall. What's going to be really interesting to watch, too, is when this does go through an eye wall replacement cycle, how quickly does that happen and how much stronger does this after that intensification happens? Because we still got about 36 hours, 24 to 36 hours of intensity before this, could start to weaken, supposedly. That's just what I've been calling it. No, a major hurricane's not going to reach the Atlanta area, no. He, she, whatever you want to call it. It's Erin, so I've just been saying that. Well, you're rude, Teresa. If you guys don't like what I say, you don't have to be rude in the chat about it. It's just what I say. If you guys are going to dish out crap today, I'm going to dish out crap. It's just how it is. I don't feel good on top of it. I'm sick, and y'all are going to be rude in the comment section. You can get muted and blocked and go watch another live stream. I don't really give a shit. I don't care. Go watch somebody else that does horrible weather coverage. There's a lot of those on this platform. There's a lot of good ones and a lot of bad ones. Sorry, guys. I'm just really salty this morning. That is my bad. My apologies. I just don't feel good. That's the biggest thing. I'm on here trying to give you guys some good updates here, and people are being jerks in the chat, which is normal. Would ever go chase with Reed if he offered? Absolutely. So I'm actually really good friends with Edgar. He's a storm chaser. He used to chase with Reed. He does his own thing now. I'm getting close to some other chasers. I'm definitely known to a lot of other people. But yeah, I would do it. Absolutely. 100%. I love Reed. He's awesome. It's how it is, Samantha. Welcome to hurricane season. Like I said, I'm so used to people being on one. I prepare myself during hurricane season or even before, just because the comment section is so bad. People think they're know-it-alls or they have an idea on what's going to happen when they don't. So, fine with me. Good morning to you guys coming in here. I do appreciate you guys. I think this is one of the most earliest live streams I've done in quite some time as well. Typically, I'm still asleep, and I don't feel good either. And I got up at 7:30, made sure Rochelle was okay, got both the kids taken care of, got them fed. We have a 2-year-old and a 7-year-old. She's still asleep, so she's resting because she doesn't feel good. Got both the kids up, got them fed, got them changed. They're chilling, and then I got on stream, so. Period. SC. I got you there as well, bud. Oh, yeah. People always make weather political, too, and it shouldn't be. It blows my mind. Yes, we all know that stuff happened this year. I'm not even over that anymore. I don't barely even talk about that anymore. I talk about stuff that's actually happening now. So I don't do political talks with weather. I don't do politics. I don't do any of that stuff. I'm here to give you guys reliable weather coverage and talk about things as they're happening, get you guys prepared, cover it as it happens, cover it before it happens, and cover it after it happens. That is my goal. If you don't like that, you can go watch another stream. Thank you guys for the gifts. I appreciate it, by the way. All right, so we are just waiting. Let me go back to recon data here and pull this up, and we can see what we're getting. So we're still waiting on another fly through here. This is just still remarkable. 926 millibars. How confident are the models for pathing? Well, right now they're not very accurate because we're seeing a west trend out of the cone. So we're going to see this cone shift on this next update in a few minutes, and I'm pretty sure it'll adjust pretty significantly to account for the western trend. We'll just see what happens. Thank you guys for all the follows, by the way. I appreciate it. So once again, guys, the most impressive thing about Erin is Erin has gone from a tropical storm at this time yesterday morning to a Category 5 hurricane almost in less than 24 hours. Just truly remarkable. Charlotte won't see any impacts from this event. You guys should be fine. I'll know more East Coast impacts as we get closer to this event happening here. Once again, this is the latest cone. This will update here in about 10 to 15 minutes, keeping this way out to sea. Even though we're seeing this trend a little bit further to the west, this still has lots of time to recurve. Lots of time. So if we get to Monday afternoon, or sorry, if we get to tomorrow night and this thing still hasn't turned north, then I'll start to shit a little bit. Pardon my language, but that's when I'll start to flip the switch and say, all right, you know, we have problems, but until 24 hours from now, we're looking at something different, then I'll go from there. But right now, we're still correct. We're going north with this. But once again, people are going to believe what they want to believe. If you don't believe me, that's fine. We'll prove you wrong in a couple days. But high confidence in a northwest turn. That's crazy. Let's go to the beach. Yeah, and it should be that trough to the north, though. The low pressure that's coming out of Canada is typically a lot quicker and a lot stronger, too. So it's going to regardless pull it to the north. It has to. That's just basic meteorology. Yeah, the models did pretty good so far with it. We had a little bit shorter of a west trend. Some of the hurricane models did a little bit better, too. We'll see here. So I'm just looking on X here for a minute and looking at some other posts from some other Mets. Yeah, we should see a Cat 5 upgrade, guys, in just a few minutes. You are more than likely looking at a Cat 5 hurricane. It looks to me we had surface winds of 180 mile per hour gusts, so this would definitely be a destructive Cat 5 hurricane if this gets that upgrade here in the next few minutes. We should see that. So we will have gone from a tropical storm to a Category 5 hurricane in 24 hours if this does verify on the next update. Pressure is down to 922 millibars and a surface gust reading of 180 miles per hour. This was a little baby yesterday. Little baby storm. Well, technically 2 days ago. Christina, I'll answer that on another stream. 50-50 on that. Once again, guys, the margin for error is still very, very big with this system. A stronger system is going to pull further to the west. I will start to get more concerned about the U.S. tomorrow if this still trends west, but it should start to see a northwest turn at some extent. Once again, this is why I tell you guys, and I will say this all day, if you are on the East Coast, you need to be prepared regardless. We have seen storms defy logic before. It happens. It does happen. I cannot say that enough. If you are in Florida all the way up to the Northeast Coast, just be prepared. It is hurricane season. You should be prepared anyways. A normal high pressure sits at about 1,010 millibars. Erin is at 922. Why is it not turning? Because it's a stronger storm. Stronger storms stay further to the west underneath the high pressure. It is going west, not southwest. More west than anything. Sort of, it had a wobble to the southwest a little bit ago, but right now west. All right, that was, look at this, guys. We went from 951 this morning to 942 to 935 to 927. Just crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. I'm going to be interested to see the new model runs when they come out with this. I just completely got rid of that. There we go. That is true as well. I mentioned that too. Two models only did have Irma hitting too. That was also 8 years ago too. So you never know, guys. Like I said, just be prepared if you're on the East Coast. Mesomat doesn't know what's going to happen, nor does any other meteorologist know what's going to happen. We just go off of the ensembles. We go off the guidance that we are given, off the data that we are given. If a storm defies that, which is very rare that happens, then we deal with it at that point. But you guys just need to be prepared if you're on the East Coast. That is my biggest message to you guys. I have to be very careful with what I say because people in the chat today just are on edge and take everything I say so literal. It's crazy. All right, we're waiting on the next update. Should be here very, very soon. Be interested to see our model runs that come in this evening. Stronger equals more west. Correct. Exactly. I'm glad somebody gets it in the chat there. We've talked about these scenarios, guys, all day, or for days now. We've been talking about this. I've been talking about it in my videos. I said stronger storm would go west, weaker storm would go north quicker. Dude, Rush, please explain to the chat how the recurve process is going to go, because everybody thinks that it is not going to go north. We all know that a stronger system goes west over a longer period of time before it turns. Like, it blows my mind. Oh my god, it's outside the cone. Oh my god, it's outside the cone. Correct, Ocean. It's not out of the question that it could make a landfall on the East Coast. We know that. It's just unlikely. I love that, Aries. I love that. We need more aspiring meteorologists in the world. Absolutely. That's crazy, Jordan. Correct as well, Laney. Yep. Yes, Chels, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, everybody's worried about it being outside the cone, which, great, it's outside the cone. It's gonna happen. It's air. It's a stronger storm. Exactly, I do too, Jerry, as well. So, once again, guys, we don't know when the turn is going to happen. If you're on the East Coast, if you're in the Bahamas, you just need to be prepared is what you need to be at this point. When we get more information on the next update, we'll see whether it's going to happen. Exactly. Rush is 100% spot on, guys. He is another lovely weather creator that I admire a lot that does amazing, amazing work on this platform. Please listen to Rush. If you don't believe me, listen to Rush. Next update will be here in the next few minutes. Erin is a Cat 4, almost Cat 5. We are probably looking at a Cat 5 right now. We're just waiting on the next update. Aaron at the gym last night. Okay, I buy that one. That's funny. Pressure's down to 922 right now. Yep. Welcome to rapid intensification, guys. Warm water temperatures, no shear, no dry air. This is what happens every time. It is expected to miss the US right now, yes. Yeah, we're also starting to notice too, guys. I want to mention this now. We are starting to see some banding around the eye here. So what's going to happen is this is more than likely going to go through an eye wall replacement cycle in the next couple of hours. So this will probably have peak intensity right at Cat 5 status when we get this next advisory in. And then we'll probably see it weaken a little bit because it's going to undergo an eye wall replacement. That's basically when the pressure drops so quickly, the wind field expands out, the storm will weaken, and then it'll expand in size, and then it'll re-strengthen again. So we're more than likely going to see that happen. Yes, JD, I am. I am live on YT. Yes. Correct as well, Rush. But there is some banding on it there on the east side, so we should see that happen in the next couple of hours. But I think it'll hit Cat 5 status before then. Mariah, no, that's not a thing. It's been talked about for years, but it's not ever been established. Cone will be updating here very soon. We're just waiting on that update. That's crazy. Yeah, no, I just noticed that too on the satellite. I was like, it's going to go through some banding here, so we're going to see an eye wall replacement cycle here pretty soon. Just, it looks like a buzzsaw, guys. I'm telling you, you cannot, if you don't like weather, this should make you love weather. Like, it's not good what's happening, clearly, but this is out in the ocean. It's not hitting anybody directly, other than some fish. This is something. It's crazy to me. Crazy, crazy. Thank you guys for all the follows, by the way. I appreciate it. If you have not followed or subbed to me on YT, make sure you guys do that. We are live on both platforms. We will be live for updates throughout the day today. We'll be posting. I'll be live every single day going forward. I never said it was going to not hit the US. I said it was a small chance. I don't think I've said that. If I said that, that was my bad. But yeah, there's still a small chance it could hit the US, but it's unlikely. I wonder if they're going to be all right too, Rush. Yeah, mods, make sure we're not saying that. Like I said, it's not expected to hit the US, but it's not out of the question. I appreciate it, Jerry. Yeah, if you're in my weather team, guys, just make sure we're not low chance, but not zero. Yeah, but not zero exactly. Make sure if you guys are on my weather team that we're saying that, please. I don't know if anybody is or not, but just make sure. Yeah, I know you're fine, Meg. You're fine. All right. So we will wait on the newest recon that's going to come in here. They're going to fly back through here in just a few minutes. Why isn't it going north? Because a stronger system pulls to the west quicker. It'll drag to the west longer with it being stronger. That's also true as well. Yes, Rush. Yep. That is very true. All right, guys, we got the 11 o'clock advisory in. It is 1 mile per hour shy of Cat 5 status. 155 mile per hour winds, pressure at 923 millibars, moving west at 17 miles per hour. So we are 1 mile per hour shy of Cat 5 status. That is absolutely insane. I know they can't give it to us. They don't want to give it to us. I bet you if they find something in there, they'll say it, but I'm pretty sure we got a Cat 5. That is the 11 o'clock advisory, so the cone will update here in just a minute. 923 millibars is absolutely insane. Erin is definitely making presence known for sure today. 1 mile per hour shy. 156 is the magic number for Cat 5. I'm pretty sure we'll reach that, though, today. I'm pretty sure we will. That was just something. Guys, we were looking at a tropical storm / Cat 1 hurricane at this time yesterday. This was a 75 mile an hour Cat 5 hurricane yesterday at this time. This has increased 80 mile per hour winds in over a 24-hour period. Just crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't know the answer to that one, Kim. Guys, if I had an answer on how far west it was going to track, I'd let you guys know in a heartbeat. So this cone's going to update here in just a minute as well, and we'll see that reflected. Excuse me. Yeah, we had a 75 mile an hour Cat 1 yesterday and ended up going to almost a Cat 5 today. Just I keep saying that, it blows my mind. Coming like, yeah, I agree as well, Rush. I agree. Yeah, so basically when a hurricane goes through an eyeball replacement cycle, basically you'll see heavy banding. Let me pull the reflectivity back up here and you guys can see it. You'll start to see heavy banding on the southern side of the eye wall. Most of the times it'll kind of stretch out like you're seeing now. And then banding on the west side, banding on the south side. Basically what'll happen is it'll kind of concave. The eye wall will close up on itself. The wind field will expand out. The storm will grow in size a little bit. And then it'll strengthen the wind field again. And you'll have a larger storm with drop in pressure, basically. Yeah, guys, let my weather teams in here early in the morning, giving as much information out to you guys as they can. If they mess up a little bit, don't be chewing them out. Be respectful in chat, please. I appreciate everybody that's trying to help, though. I appreciate it. Yeah, I noticed that too. I was looking at that a minute ago, Rush. That's insane, dude. That's absolutely insane. Well, every single model run agrees on a Cat 5 now. Clearly. Here's our latest intensity guide. Oh my gosh. That's a little bit too late there to call that. That just blows my mind. All right, that is the 11 o'clock update. That is the new cone right there. They have this thing weakening, too, once it makes that northern turn, which is interesting. But yeah, that's the new cone, guys. They did account for the western movement there, but this is still expected to take a gradual northwest shift here in just a little bit. It's not right now, Jason, but it's expected to. So that is the new 11 o'clock cone for you guys there. So that'll update. I'll refresh that. Once that officially updates in. Oh, this is a good couple hundred miles off the East Coast. About 200 or 300 off the East Coast there. If ever, once again, guys, I would bet money on a. I would bet all of my money that I have in the world on a land, or not on a landfall, on a out to sea system with this. It's going to be a close call, but still. I don't know why people just think it's not going to turn. So that's what blows my mind. It looks gross and it looks mean and it looks like it's going toward the US guys, but it's not. I agree as well, Rush. Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit ago too. Yeah, path is still the same. They do have it becoming a Cat 5. Wow. Expected to hit 165 Cat 5 status by tonight. That is absolutely insane. 160. It's going to increase again another 10. Maximum wind gust will be 200 miles per hour. Holy crap, dude. This will be our first Cat 5 hurricane of the year, either on either side of the ocean, Atlantic or Pacific. Yep. So this is expected to become a brief Cat 5 and then go off to the north. I think a closer call. I think it's going to still trend west for a good amount of time before it does eventually go north. It's just how far west does it go? Nobody knows the answer to that. So there is that. Truly amazing. What are conditions for a strong hurricane to hit the northeast? Warm water temperatures. That's basically it. No dry air, no shear. If you're saying this is going to hit the northeast, it's not. More than likely not going to. Yeah, I saw that. We're going to get a new pressure reading. If they find something stronger, they'll upgrade it. They'll do a special upgrade if they find something else in it here. So they're going to go back in it. This is where the plane's at. But this is expected to become a Cat 5 by tonight. Probably sooner than that, clearly. Yeah, he did. He did a good job with it, too. Yeah, they'll do a special update on it if it needs to be. 923 is definitely there. We're getting up in the top 5 for hurricanes, that's for sure. We're gonna look at this new. Just waiting for that new data to come in. On the it was shifted just a little bit to the west, yeah. With the impacts to the East Coast right now, rip currents and massive waves are going to be an issue. There could be as high as tropical storm force winds on the outer banks of North Carolina if this gets close enough. That still is yet to be determined. So this is the updated track, guys. Like I said, cone still accounts for that northwest shift. We still could see this go as far west as the west side of the cone or as far east. This is the center of circulation. Remember, this cone accounts for the center, not the entire storm. So if that center is placed here, there would be outer bands potentially, as well as tropical storm force winds if it were to go to the far west side. That's what I'm getting at. So if you're on the East Coast, you need to be prepared. Mesomat does not know what's going to happen yet with this until this makes that turn. That is what I'm getting at, guys. It is a low chance of a United States landfall, but not zero. I will say that every single time until I'm blue in the face. For everybody in here that thinks that this storm's just going to go right into Florida, that is completely invalid. I did see that, Dalton. I saw that post on X, dude. That was crazy. All right, so let me go back here. We're just gonna watch the new recon coming in. Jesus. Guys, just a heads up too. Make sure y'all are being respectful to my weather team and my mods and everybody that's in stream helping out and answering questions. If you're rude to them, they're gonna mute you and block you, and you can go watch somebody else. Make sure you guys are being respectful to them, please. Yeah, 200-mile-per-hour wind gust is wild. That is definitely for sure. All right, so they'll be flying in here. It takes a little bit of time to get this airplane in there. Guys, I want you guys to also understand something. The National Hurricane Center is not going to lie about the track of a hurricane cone. The cone is got a bunch of different data and stuff that's plugged into it to make this cone happen. 85 to 90% of the time, if not a little bit higher than that, these cones are valid. We rarely ever do we see a system defy the whole entire cone. So if people are trying to suggest that the National Hurricane Center is lying to the public about their information, once again, that is conspiracy theorism, and that's not going to happen here. That's just not a thing. I've tracked storms for 8 years, and I've never seen that happen other than once or twice in terms of other circumstances that are not with this system at play. Irma defined the entire cone, correct, but that was also 8 years ago, and our forecasting was not that great at that time either. Also, there were a lot of different things working with Irma than this system. You cannot compare Irma to Erin, sorry. It's completely different setup, completely different system, completely different steering patterns. Just because we have a Cat 4, almost Cat 5 hurricane sitting just north of Puerto Rico doesn't mean it's going to go take an Irma path. People got to realize that. That's not how that works. You can't compare one hurricane to another hurricane in terms of the intensity and the exact track that it's on. Yeah, it's been pretty, the cone has been pretty good. It's been some shifts a little bit. It's been some minor shifts, but it's not been any major shifts on like, oh gosh, it's, barreling toward the East Coast. What effects for Puerto Rico? Tropical storm force winds is what we're going to see for you guys here. You're going to be getting those here very, very soon with those outer bands coming in. Yeah, Bermuda's got me a little bit concerned. It'll be close over here in Bermuda if it takes an eastern track, which is probably not going to happen as of right now. But there will be some waves, clearly, definitely a lot of waves. There will be also some winds, tropical storm force winds more than likely at some extent, but this will start to weaken as it goes north. But how quickly does that weaken? Big questions to be answered. So still back in the cone here, so. Like I said, guys, we could see this, go west for a good amount of time before it needs to be curved to the north. So Bahamas will start to get tropical storm force winds tomorrow morning. Yeah, it blows my mind, bro, honestly. Doesn't shock me. All right. We're just waiting for that new fly in here. I'm curious to see what it's going to be. We should be getting a new area to watch behind this, too. All right, guys, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back. Bear with me too, guys. I'm still sick with a cold or whatever I have, so I'm still trying to push through that. So I'm not like 100% yet. So I appreciate you guys. Yeah, so here's the thing, guys. There's going to be a lot of people posting our next system. It's not even off the coast of Africa yet. It's still a tropical wave moving through Africa. It'll be off the coast here, I think by tomorrow or Monday. There is another system we're watching after this. Nobody knows what's going to happen with it, just like with Erin. If you guys are seeing people fearmonger and post videos saying a major hurricane's coming to the US next week, there's a system we're watching, but it's not anything near that possibility yet. Um, Once again, it's just people trying to make money by fear mongering and posting clickbait videos. You're going to see that a lot. We're in a 7 to 12 day window on that system right now. So until that new AOI gets issued from the National Hurricane Center and we actually get an area to watch and something to be concerned about, or a system actually gets itself together, then we will be concerned about that. But you guys are going to see all of that all season long. It's something we battle every single year. If you don't hear it from me, don't believe it. It's just that simple. People want to make money off of fear mongering, they're going to do it. Most likely won't make landfall. Correct. Correct, Adam. I don't know the second answer to that question though. I can't tell you on that one. That's crazy. Yeah, I'll just show you guys briefly here. So we do have we're watching a wave that's coming off the coast of Africa. They will issue what's called an AOI, these little blobs you see. This has only got a 10% chance. This is actually going to be gone in the next update. They'll issue a new yellow or orange or red blob when they feel that a new storm's going to come off or a new system's going to come off the coast. We don't even have that right now. So until we get something to watch, an actual area to watch from the National Hurricane Center, there's not a system out there right now. We are watching for the potential for something. I'll kind of show you guys two different scenarios here, a couple different runs just briefly so you guys can see. This was the GFS model run this morning. The GFS model has been showing a system next week. Some models are showing a major hurricane going toward the southeast next week. I need everybody to breathe and relax because that's over 12 days out. It's in La La Land. We all know that. But the GFS this morning, there's Erin. There goes Erin out to sea, as expected. This is the wave right here. So we should get an AOI either by tonight, tomorrow, or Monday. This is a wave that's coming off the coast of Africa, just like Erin did. The problem that we're going to have with next week, and this is my issue, is once Erin leaves, there goes Erin out to sea by next Friday. We're going to have two different lows we're watching here. We'll be watching for some more tropical activity. There's going to be a huge ridge that sets in place after next week, which is going to allow any type of storm system that develops in the Eastern Atlantic next week to eventually head our direction without going out to sea because that blocking high is going to be there. So if we were to get something worst case scenario next week that does come out, and this is next Thursday, next Friday, we're now in La La Land. We're over 7 days out. You got some models showing something going into the Gulf. You've got another one showing another system. Guys, this is August 26th, over 10 days out. We are in La La Land, okay? I get everybody freaks out when they see model runs that are over 7 to 10 days out and it looks like a major hurricane's coming their direction. We don't look at this stuff until an actual system comes off the coast of Africa and actually forms. So if you want to believe a model run that's 7 to 10 days out, be my guest. You're probably going to be wrong. But we don't do that here. This is definitely something that you see a lot of people will post. Will say, oh my God, a Cat 5 hurricane is going to Texas next Thursday. Prepare now. This is absolute insanity. Okay. Until we get a system that forms, until we get an area to watch, then we'll start to talk. That is the GFS model picking up on it for next week. The European model also, I believe, was showing a little bit of something next week. Yeah, the European has it also next week as well. Has that wave over here compared to where the GFS had it here. That is next Friday, so that's something we are watching. It's not set in stone yet. And then I believe the Icon model also did it this last night as well. I think it did. Double check here. Yeah, Icon model also has it right behind as well. So there's more than likely going to be a wave that we're watching next week. It's just, what is it going to do? We don't know the answer to that. So I appreciate that. That's what we'll kind of see what happens at that point. That's a good question, Adam. I really think the Euro has been better. Let me do some research on that. I want to give you the right answer, and I don't know the answer to that. Let me do some research on that for you, and I'll give you that answer tomorrow. Let me give you that answer tomorrow. So if you guys are just joining in the stream, we have a monster Cat 4/Cat 5 hurricane expected to become a Cat 5 hurricane here in the next little bit. We'll see if this next fly-in reaches that threshold. But we have a major monster hurricane with a 923 pressure reading. Wind speed is at 155 here just north of Puerto Rico. Going to continue to start on a northwest trend. Hopefully we see a northwest trend here soon rather than later. That would be great. I would say so, Will. I don't want to say no and then, or say yes and then it be wrong, but I think so. I think so. There's a low end chance for severe weather today in the plains. I'll pull that up here in just a little bit. We'll talk about that. It could turn more west, Erin. It's possible. Erin. Erin, you could turn more west if you want. That's crazy there. Oh, man. I'm telling you guys, people just wild me out during hurricane season. It never fails. Yeah, I don't do the weather trusting over 5 days out either. That's not in my book of play. It's served me well in my forecasting over the last couple years. Do I prefer covering hurricanes or tornadoes? I like to cover both. I like to cover anything. Hurricanes fascinate me more, so probably hurricanes. Is it true that Florida people would take... What do you mean, Will? Oh, this system is a light snack? Oh, yeah, if you're in Florida or anywhere on the East Coast, let this storm remind you of hurricane season. The East Coast has missed out on a lot of systems over the last couple of years. They've dodged a lot of bullets, per se, East Coast landfalls. So, most of the times not, these storms do go out to sea, but with that Bermuda high being weaker toward the end of the month, we typically see that happen. Can't say that about every single one, though. Yes, and I get mad. Oh, boy. All right, planes are about to go into the center here. It's going to be interesting. We should see a Cat 5 update on this. Okie dokie. Sam, hopefully by this afternoon. I don't know how much longer this storm can intensify. Dude, if this thing dropped another 10 millibars to 910, I'd shit myself. We're sitting at 923 right now. If this dropped another 10, I would go crazy. Because then we're floating with record territory at that point. Milton was 897 last year. That was our strongest storm last year was Milton, 897. Oh, no, Katie, don't mute him. Don't mute him. He's just joking. He's a good friend of mine. I storm chased with him back in North Carolina. He's good. There we go. You're fine, Katie. You're fine. You didn't know. Moving west at 17 miles per hour. You're fine. He's fine, Katie. I went storm chasing with him in North Carolina a couple years ago. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. Oh, for real, Will. I'm telling you guys, the amount of fear mongering I've seen with Erin is just insane. There's so many people out there that want it to hit the East Coast, so just so they can make content off of it. It's crazy. Yeah, no. He's good, Katie. You're good. You're good. It's supposed to curve, guys. Remember, stronger storms that intensify quicker go further west longer. It's still going to recurve. It's still going to recurve. It has to recurve. We're going to watch it just in case some crazy thing happens, but it's going to recurve. I still agree on a recurve. My data suggests it and everything else suggests it. Moving at 17 miles per hour, I believe, was the latest update. I'll double check here. 17 miles per hour west, yes. Yes, correct. Chances are low, but never zero. Exactly, 100%. Guys, I'm about to invest in a new gaming chair next week. Might end up putting it on the credit card this week, but I'm going to end up investing in a new gaming chair. This chair I have is getting old. I'm going to get a gaming chair. I found it on Amazon. It's $156, and it's red and black and has speakers on it and light up LED lights wrapped around it. It is super freaking cool, and it has a thing I can prop my feet up on. I wanted to go bougie with a new gaming chair, so absolutely not, Laney. I knew you were gonna say that. I appreciate that, Erin. Thank you. By the way, guys, if there's anybody that is interested in joining our weather team, send me a message. As long as you're over the age of 18 and you mean good and you would like to help on the team and answer questions in stream and deal with the craziness, send me a message and I will send you guys the application link to join our team. Yeah, I'm starting to kind of see a northwest kind of trend a little bit too. You can see it a little bit there. They also adjusted the cone too, so this hopefully will start to pull northwest. I think it's going to be crazy when all the people out there that thought this was going to make landfall on the East Coast, and when it actually recurves and goes out to sea and has mostly non-landfall impacts, everybody's going to be like, oh my god, you were right, you were right, I'm sorry, because I'll get apologies from people, it'll happen. It never fails. Yeah, cloud seeding and controlling hurricanes like this, sorry guys, that's not real. If you believe that, you might want to go do some research. People always try to justify conspiracy theories to make this stuff irrelevant, and it's not. I agree as well, Doobie. That trough will come in and pull it out too. Yeah, Puerto Rico is right here. You guys are going to get those outer bands here soon. We're waiting on the newest recon data. We should have a Cat 5 upgrade coming. Oh yeah, it's crazy. The amount of the people out there that think that we can steer hurricanes and steer tornadoes and drop cloud seeding iodine into hurricanes to make them intensify just blows my mind. It just never fails. I've never heard, at least in meteorology school, or at least heard from another meteorologist, that that is a real thing. Cloud seeding is real, yes, but it accounts for a very small percentage of moisture that is fallen from a cloud in like the middle of like the plains or something like that. We joke around a lot on the weather team that I control storms. It's so funny though. Amber literally just said that too. I love that. Yes, I do, Sam. We were talking about that a few minutes ago. There's some heavy banding on the southwestern side of the storm there, and I think it'll be happening here pretty soon. Exactly, Kim, 100%. Yes, it will be a Cat 5 here soon, yes. What's up, David? David, your boy Richie said we were gonna have a Cat 12 this morning. Defying all logic in the meteorology world. You know what's crazy too? When we cover severe weather, guys, we cover like our big severe weather outbreaks. I swear the National Weather Service watches my streams. I'm not even joking, because we'll say there's going to be a tornado warning or a watch comes out, and it literally happens right afterward, and it's to the T. So I wouldn't be shocked. That'd be something, though. I feel honored, though. That'd be wild. We call tornado warnings 15 and 20 and 30 minutes. Way sooner than they should happen, when they're supposed to happen. Which doesn't shock me. But it's also not hard to do when you know a rotation. So, or figure out how to read radar. Yeah, no, I don't get paid for this, guys. I don't get paid for this. Sorry. This is a free service to you all. I could see it in the future, Sam, but that would take a lot of justification. But I could see it. What's up, Max? Good to see you. At 11 p.m. Eastern time. Let's see here. Let's see what we're getting. 117, 136, 145. So that's a higher wind gust than the last one. So we should have a Cat 5. 145 transitions to, hold on. And then you got to subtract a little bit. No, that's not what I want. 166. Subtract 10, right at Cat 5 status. Right at Cat 5. You got to subtract about 5 or 10 from the surface to go down, so we should have a special upgrade to a Cat 5. And I think pressure just dropped significantly again. We're at 959 right now. I want you guys to see something here. Do you guys see this? Look. It's moving northwest. You see that, right? That's moving northwest. It's turning. It is turning. Slowly, but it's turning. It's like a train. You can't stop a train very quickly when it's going super, super fast. These storms are strong. It takes time to turn them. It is still moving due west, correct. Yeah, but it's starting to take on a little bit of a northwest trend, though. There's a little bit of a joggle there to the northwest. I believe they said 8 to 10 inches in Puerto Rico. If I was correct on that when I saw that earlier. David will be close. That's crazy, Kim. I love that. No, it's in the cone. It's you can see the little bit of a jog there. We'll know over the next little bit of time here what happens with it. I will be getting off stream, guys, around 11:30ish. And the reason why that is because it is NFL preseason week 2, and I have a football game to watch at noon. And then I'll probably get back on and do an update for you guys around 3 o'clock this afternoon. I'm fake? That's crazy, Robert. That's wild. You're fake, too. You can go watch another live stream where they promote fake information. Goodbye. That's wild. You're fake for commenting that comment. Guys, I have fun. If you're going to be rude in the comments, I'll have fun with it. I am a Carolina Panthers fan. I am from North Carolina, so I've been a diehard Panthers fan all my life, even though they suck. So, hoping for a better season this year. Yeah, I'm gonna run over that here in just a few minutes, Mandy. I'm just waiting on this latest recon data to come in. $916? What? We got a pressure reading of 916. Oh, this is a Cat 5. It has to be. Has to be. Another 7 millibar drop. 926 to 916. That's 10 millibars. This has to be a Cat 5. Dude, we're getting close to like record territory with this pressure reading. 916 millibars. That is just insane. Milton last year was 897. Fell into the top three. Strongest hurricanes on record in the Atlantic. Wilma leads the way with an 887 back in 2005. Technically marked, but the steering north should pull it north regardless of the strength of it eventually at some point. But you're correct. You're correct on that. Yeah, we're getting there, guys. I mean, this thing is almost pinhole all the way. Let's look at it here. Look at that. Look at that. That is something. I watch all teams. I pay a lot of attention. I do fantasy football. So as much as you guys think I'm a weather nerd, I get into NASCAR. I get into football significantly. Definitely. Still heading, yeah, it is still heading west. Starting to see a little bit more of a northwest, though. You can see a northwest there on the last two frames. I saw Richmond is tonight. There's the NASCAR races tonight. I've got football. There's a lot going on. And we got this crap happening. It's supposed to be a fish storm, yes. There still will be some impacts, though. The ridging's weak on the east side of the high right now. It's on the east side of the hurricane. Yeah, it is still 20 degrees below the line. Yeah, I'm hoping we'll start to see really that full shift north here soon. Rapid intensification, guys, is how this happens. So we should see a bump up here on this. I appreciate it, Kendra. Yeah, this is just wild. All right, let's see here. Like I said, we should get a bump up. Should get a bump up here with this. I would think. Get a special outlook upgrade here. I'm sick as hell, guys. I'm stuffy. I feel gross. But we're doing it. We're doing the thing. All right, 12Z icon is running. Yeah, if the icon model is right, which so far has been right with intensity, if it stays on a west track, this is how close it would get. It would get very, very close. This is the steering mechanism on what's pulling Erin out to sea. We got a little bit of a stronger ridge over here, which is also pushing it further west, but it should end up going between the two ridges here and getting pulled out to sea. That is the plan. So it could take a further west track. It's possible. It's a little too close to comfort there. We don't like that. Yeah, pressure went 923, 916. So 916 is the lowest pressure that they got on this. So it dropped another 7 millibars on the last run. God, this is, I'm telling you guys, this blows my mind. This is insane. No, East Coast track up, track east of the East Coast. Yes, going to the Gulf. No. Everybody's asking me, what do I do if it doesn't pivot? It's gonna pivot, guys. Remember, guys, if this makes a landfall and defies the cone and goes to the East Coast, it makes a true landfall on the East Coast, I will become a therapist. There will be no longer Mezzo Matt. It'll be therapy with Matt because I will need therapy. I don't see that happening though. Just start registering for your license just in case. I know, that'd be something. I might need therapy after this one's over with if that's the case. No, I think you guys on the East Coast are gonna be okay. I've got full trust in our ensembles and our models. No, this wouldn't be anywhere near New York City. No, 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 no. This wouldn't go anywhere near New York City, guys. The closest this would get would be the East Coast, and then it's going to go out to sea. This would not go anywhere near New York City. Dude, I need some honey buns. I love honey buns. The iced honey buns are fire. I will take those any day. Correct, exactly. Yes, that's what I've been telling people, as I've been saying, the last couple of days. Just because it's going to be a close call doesn't mean you don't prepare. If you're on the East Coast, prepare anyways, because things can happen. We all know that. I'm not going to get into the logist of, oh, is it going to, is it not, is it going to, is it not, because I don't know the answer to that. We're going off of our data. That is what you go off. If you're a meteorologist or doing what I do, you go off of data. You don't go off of conspiracy theorism or systems that have happened in the past. Storms can go outside the cone and move back in the cone. Right now we're in the cone, which is okay. Because there's a trough up, Nikki, that's the high pressure is only going to play so much more of a role into this. It's this trough up here, which is what pulls it to the north. That ultimately, at the end of the day, this trough is what pulls it to the north. There it is, guys. Category 5 hurricane, 11:20 update. 917 millibars, maximum sustained winds at 60. We now got a Cat 5. Just that easy peasy. Did a special update. This is the first Cat 5 of the year for anywhere. How about that? Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Hold on one second. Damn. Yep, official warning from the National Hurricane Center. 11:20 this morning. Pressure inside the storm is 917 with maximum sustained winds at 160. Correct, Katie. Yes, correct. A lot of the ensembles and a lot of the models here recently have wobbled to the west due to the intensity being so strong. So remember, stronger storm pulls to the west longer, and before it goes northwest, we'll see that recurve still. Yeah, just briefly here, because I know people got questions on today's storm system. We do have severe weather today expected in the Midwest and the plains. We do have a marginal risk that goes from eastern portions of Montana back down into the Great Lakes here and across the northern Ohio Valley. Slight risk in the yellow there. Tornado risk today is very, very low. Northern Illinois, Milwaukee, western Wisconsin, eastern portions of Minnesota, and eastern portions of Iowa here. Low in tornado risk, but wind threat at 15 and 5 for winds up to 70 miles per hour across the marginal risk and into the yellow risk there in the slight. And then a hail risk at little there. So today's risk zone not super, super big. If you're in the Midwest this afternoon to tonight, just be mindful. Winds and hail is going to be the primary threats. We'll have a low tornado threat across Wisconsin and portions of northern Illinois. Storms will initiate around 3 to 4 o'clock this afternoon. So, oh, it is very rare for a Cat 5. 100%. 100%. They'll do the next advisory at 2 p.m., so we've got a while on that. That is something, guys. Wow. No, it's not coming to Florida. It's going to go through a... Yeah, it was a Cat 1 24 hours ago. Isn't that crazy? It's wild. Yes, that is correct as well, Charles. Yep. Wilma, 2005, 882 millibars. Yes. No, guys, there's been controversy on creating a Cat 6. This is as high as it goes, but it's more than likely never going to happen. It would take a lot to make that scale upgrade. Yep, we got a Cat 5 hurricane. I did. If you guys were in the stream 2 days ago, I told y'all to take a screenshot when this was a tropical storm, and I said, watch in about 2 or 3 days, this is going to become a monster hurricane, and poof. Simple to the point. I did say that. If you were watching that stream, you definitely know. It's very, very easy to forecast a rapid intensifying storm with the conditions that are out there. It's very simple. It's not directed to hit anywhere, guys, other than stay out and see. It's going to stay between Bermuda and East Coast. Proof you're manipulating. That's wild. Yeah, if y'all are watching the stream 2 days ago, it's like I said, it's just simple. It's simple atmosphere. You learn weather, you study weather all your life, and you're going to know. It's pretty simple. Milton's going to be hard to outpace. I can't say no. Milton was 897 last year. It was a Cat 5, 897 in the Gulf. Wind speeds were 180. I can't say no, but I can't say yes to that. We will see. I hope Erin is not just a teaser. I really hope so. That is a joke to the hurricane sun. That's crazy. Listen, it's like I said, it's just not that hard. It's not that hard to forecast it. I just want to know if this is going to make a run at 900. 916, guys. You got to think about that. The pressure inside this thing is like 10 bombs going off. It's crazy. 10 nuclear bombs. Once again, the strength does not change the forecast, guys. The forecast is still going to miss Puerto Rico, and it's going to stay east of the East Coast. That is a plan. See, that is the icon model. That's worst case scenario. It gets wrapped out to sea. Worst case scenario, we get a big old scooch along the East Coast here. I'm glad CNN is covering it now. They don't ever really cover weather. They should probably do that more often. Guys, you know what's crazy? You know, we just broke so many records today over the last couple days. This was our first hurricane of the year, first major hurricane of the year, and first Cat 5 hurricane of the year. In the middle of August. We still have the rest of August to go, all of September to go, and all of November to go before hurricane season is over with. Isn't that crazy? This was only supposed to be a Cat 4 hurricane yesterday as forecasted. It was supposed to hit 145-mile-per-hour winds tomorrow night. This is 36 hours ahead of schedule. So imagine if this goes through an eyewall replacement cycle and it's successful, what this could be afterwards. We might get close to breaking some records. It's very possible. September and October are the months you really got to worry about, though. I just could not imagine, guys, if our ridge was not there and if this was going toward the East Coast. I don't even know how you would prepare for something like this. That's the thing that you guys need to be really thinking about, is if this was going to the East Coast to make a landfall, whoever does get this, whoever would have gotten this storm, I don't know how you guys would get through it. That's the biggest thing. Be very, very grateful that this is going out to sea and it's not going to make a landfall more than likely. That's the biggest thing that we're preaching right now. Yeah, once again, she's not picking up latitude right now because it's a stronger storm. So stronger systems are going to pull to the west a little bit longer before they trend northwest with a trough or a ridge decrease. It's going to trend a little bit longer to the west, and then it should start to pull northwest. Yes, we're not expecting a United States landfall, and we're not expecting a Bermuda landfall as of right now. If that changes, you guys will know. Did we get an update on our... Oh my gosh. Some of the models, you got one model up here suggesting this is going to reach 200 miles per hour almost. That's insane. Millibar record is Wilma 882. Don't know what to do if we broke that. That'd be something. The models are still models that are suggesting higher trends, so we're going to have to watch it. All right, so icon update tonight goes out to sea. There goes Erin. That is the first model run this afternoon that's out. I'm still shocked at what this thing is doing, guys. It blows my mind. Real. Thought it was going to stay a Cat 4. Models, guys, once again, when you have a rapid intensifying storm, models don't mean nothing in terms of intensity track. It doesn't matter what the models think. The storm's going to do what it wants to do with the water conditions that it's in. Doesn't matter. Oh, shit. Models do not constrict the storm's intensification. Yeah, it is a good collecting data storm. 100%. Are they going to send another plane in there? Because now I'm really curious on this. They're going to probably pass through this thing again. All right, I want you guys to see here, all right? So here's the cone, right? You guys are starting to see that tug north. I'm gonna play this out so you guys can personally see this, okay? We're starting to see a little bit of a tug northwest, which is good, slightly. So here was that west trend. And then kind of a nudge, a little bit of a nudge north there. A little bit of a nudge north. See what I'm saying? So that's what we're watching. So it was going west and then kind of a little bit of a nudge. So hopefully we start to see that sooner than later. Yeah, I know a lot of people have trauma from Irma and Helene. Guys, I watched, this comes from, I lived in, guys, I lived in Asheville, North Carolina for 22 years. I moved here to Kentucky. I live in Western Kentucky now. I've lived here for 2 years. Never once saw anything crazy happen with hurricanes or anything in North Carolina. We had a couple remnant storms come through after Katrina and stuff growing up down there. Helene wiped my whole entire city out. It was gone. I wasn't able to communicate with my family for almost 10 days. Didn't know if they were alive. Didn't know if they were dead. Didn't know what was going on. I lost 380 people in my county alone in Asheville with Helene last year. So I have trauma from watching storms happen. I have a lot of knowledge from watching storms happen, from forecasting storms, from covering storms. I promise you guys, I'm never going to lead y'all in the wrong direction when it comes to doing this stuff. I've got trauma myself from watching this happen last year. So I may not have physically went through Helene, physically being down there, but going through it, watching it happen, forecasting it, and seeing what everybody went through and seeing my family go through it. Every single one of my family members went through it. It was awful. And if I will do everything in my power to get people prepared for storms in the future. That's my biggest thing. So yes, this may not be making a landfall on the East Coast, but there will be impacts in terms of waves, all that stuff. People will still surf in this stuff, which is crazy to me. But yeah, last year was a year to remember, and I will not ever let that go. Ever. Not ever will I ever do that. So when people get on here and they're rude as hell and they say I don't know what I'm talking about and that all I'm doing is fear mongering, well, why don't you go through the last 8 years of what I've done and see yourself? I post a video every single day. I make my own forecast videos. I do my best that I can to give y'all the best reliable weather coverage that you can possibly get on the planet. I may not be a degree meteorologist yet, but I know my shit and I can do a pretty good job at it. So it is a Cat 5 now, yes. Well, I live in Kentucky now, Sam, though, so I do miss that northwesterly flowing snow off the apps. I do miss it. I need to watch it, David. I haven't watched it yet because I don't want to kind of go through that again, if you know what I'm saying. Watching it, it was awful. I remember the last phone call I had was with my cousin before I went to stream. We covered Helene the night of landfall. We were on stream till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I know some of my weather team in here remembers it because we were covering it last year when it was happening. The second it made landfall in the Panhandle of Florida last year, and it was supposed to start curving northwest, it did not. It went northeast and stayed northeast longer. The second I started to see that northeast trend, I was like, oh shit, this is going to be worse for the apps because that dirty side is going to allow for higher rainfall rates than what is forecasted. I called my cousin. I called my mom. My cousin was the only one that believed what I was saying. They woke up the next morning and it was a war zone. So, yeah, it's crazy. No, Virginia's fine. Is there another one coming behind it? We're watching for a tropical wave behind it, yes, but it's not certain on what's going to happen. I'm using Radar Omega right now. I don't have one, Sam. The one that I have is what somebody made for me, and they don't want it. It's personalized for me, so I can potentially have them reach out to you, but that would be a them thing. I do, bro. I do like Max. He's awesome. He's super awesome. I have a lot of respect for Max. So a lot of people think the water temperatures are going to be cooler after this. That's not necessarily the case. We'll see what the sea surface temperatures look like once this updates tomorrow in the next couple of days. But if we do get another system behind this, that's what we're working with. We are, guys, I want you guys to understand, Hurricane Erin is right over here. We haven't even tapped into some of the warmest water temperatures that are in the Gulf right now or in the Bahamas or in Florida. So if we get a system that comes out of the Caribbean this year, or comes this direction, or comes even closer again to this direction, with the right conditions, with if there's no shear, if there's no dry air, we could be looking at a worst case scenario. So be very grateful that this storm is forecasted to miss. Be very grateful, because the next one may not. I'm hoping that every single storm missed, but you don't know that, and you don't know what's going to happen. So I would use this as a wake up call, guys. Use this as an appetizer or a wake up call. Because, like I said, the next one may not be the same way. So even with the churning of waters, we should see a little bit some cooler water temperatures, but there's still lots of warm water out there. This would be devastating to the East Coast if this went into the East Coast. This would do billions of dollars in damage, 100%. I'm using Radar Omega. That's what I'm using. The fact that we have a Cat 5 in the middle of August and we're not even at peak hurricane season yet is what really blows my mind. That's I think what at the end of the day it is. I knew going into this that this was going to be a possibility. Would it happen? Sure, why not? But yeah, this is definitely on there. So all of the ensembles agree with an out to sea curve. I mean, there's not a single ensemble or model run that's suggesting. You got a couple that closer, but there's not a single landfalling storm, is what I'm getting at. So we'll see what the GFS does. GFS is going to load in here soon. Yeah, literally, it's crazy to me. So once again, guys, we are watching for another system off the east coast of Africa by Monday. That's when the wave is going to come off. It's not another system quite yet. It's just a tropical wave. I'm going to have to do, when we have an off week with you guys, when we don't have anything we're tracking, I'm going to get on here and do like a little teaching with hurricane season, because I'd love to teach you guys on how this stuff works, because there's different terminologies or different definitions of things to kind of understand, you know, the difference here. Because a lot of people say, oh, is there a hurricane coming to the U.S. next week, when we don't have a system out yet, because models are showing it doesn't. There's just different wording. There's just different terminology. Yeah. Also, if there's anybody that's interested in one-on-one teaching, message me. I am still open to that. If there's anybody that wants to learn one-on-one, just send me a message. Here's the thing, guys. I'll say this too. Helene was so different than any other major hurricane that we've had. Helene was considered as a geological event. Those are considered in the 1 percentile of all major natural disasters, whether that be earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis. That's what Helene was considered as, because it did so much damage to the Appalachian Mountains, to North Carolina, to South Carolina, and even down into Florida. It was considered in that 1 percentile. So that's pushed aside. Helene's basically, like I said, like a 1 in a 1,000 plus year, 100,000 year event, compared to like Katrina. Helene was compared to as in terms of like worse than Katrina was in some aspects. So, and some people can vouch for that in different areas that lived through different things. But in the aspect scopes of what NHC and NOAA and the National Weather Service believed it was, or put it as, it was in that 1 percentile. So we hopefully won't see something like that again in years. Hopefully not in our lifetime. Helene was a Cat 4, almost Cat 5. It rapidly intensified all the way up to landfall. It was borderline Cat 5 when it made landfall in the Panhandle. So yeah, that's like me, guys. I'm currently in school for meteorology. I am off school right now because I don't have the financials to go for school, and I'm a big believer in not having to pay for student debt. I'm not going to ask for a loan. I'm a believer in saving up myself and going back to school. I'm technically year 2.5 in school. I've got 2.5 years left until I finish my full bachelor's degree in med school. So until I get enough funds saved up, that's when I'm going to go back to school. But I'm not doing that right now. So I'm technically out of school right now, but still registered in school. Erin is way different than Irma. Irma, to start with, wasn't a Cat 5 at this point in its lifespan. That, and we had some different influences with the different patterns. I'll have to go back and look at the setup for that, and I can do a deep dive on that for you guys in a future video or in a future stream. But we also had some outlier ensembles that were showing a landfall towards Florida. We don't have a single ensemble or model run that is showing any type of landfall in the United States whatsoever. So there is no support of a landfall anywhere, other than maybe Bermuda. But the fact that we're getting pink color showing up, that is an eyewall replacement cycle probably about to happen. I've learned most of my weather knowledge from myself, learning and teaching myself, learning from other Mets. I've respected and watched a lot of Mets as well. I do a lot of deep diving documentaries. I do a lot of deep diving, guys. Like I'm not just gonna get on here and throw you guys a bullshit of information and not know what it means or not know how to explain it to you guys. There's some stuff I don't know, granted, because I'm not fully degreed yet, but I know most enough to give you guys explanations on how things work and how things function. Eyewall replacement cycle is when the storm basically you'll see the eye, the center of the circulation here, you'll see the eye condense, you'll see the eye go away, it'll get covered up by the eye wall will collapse, the wind field will expand out, the storm will grow in size, and then it'll come back and it'll be a stronger storm. Pink winds is just the stronger winds that are showing up. But I got you, Joshua. I appreciate it, bud. I'll look at anybody that sent me messages afterwards when I get off. So yeah, if you're interested in like a one-on-one meteorology lesson or something, I do offer those, guys. So you can send me a message if you're interested, and I'll get with people. I don't know how soon that'll be, given the fact that we've got this and we've got something next week, but I'll hopefully be able to get it in soon. Yeah, Milton's very identical to rapid intensification with this system. Very, very similar to it. A little bit different setups here. Clearly, we're not watching storm going into Florida, but intensification-wise, yes. No, this is a Cat 5, guys. You guys are looking at our first Cat 5 of the year. Like, this is a Cat 5 hurricane. Mostly Lena, yeah. Yeah, if money is an issue, I'm not worried about it. I'll teach people. Most people know my weather team. I don't care to teach people. My biggest thing is just getting people to understand. Once people are more aware of of how meteorology works and how things work, absolutely. Yeah, message me. I'm not worried about people paying for one-on-ones. It's fine with me. I just like to teach people. I like to talk about it. Yeah, it's a funny story too, guys. I was at the time that Helene was making landfall last year. I was in a full semester of college online. I was taking 5 classes at the time Helene made landfall last year, and I passed all my classes with A's and B's too, which is crazy. And I still managed to get on here and do 15 and 20-hour live streams. That's the thing, guys. When there's stuff happening, I'm on here for a long time. That's the biggest thing. I sit on here for hours and hours. You can ask the team. That's what we're here for. So I don't just get on here and do a weather update or post a fake video that doesn't mean shit. I get on here and I talk about it so you guys can understand. I get on here and explain it so you guys can understand. Because then people aren't going to learn and they're not going to understand it at all. So you guys are awesome. I appreciate it. All right. I want to see what the GFS does here and kind of go from there. See, the GFS doesn't even have the ridge in place anymore for the rest of this week, so... I want to see the GFS does here, and then I will probably take a break, guys, here in just a little bit so I can eat some food, make sure the kids are good, get Rochelle up, make sure she's okay because she's sick, I'm sick. I will do another live stream update probably around this evening. We all know it's a Cat 5 hurricane. There's not much changing with the forecast. I'll be watching things behind the scenes if it does, in fact, change, but we'll keep you guys updated on that. I'll stay on here for just a little bit longer, and then I'm going to probably wrap stream up because we've been on here for about 2.5 hours. David. Oh, yeah, so the little yellow spot on the East Coast, they marked this for an area of low pressure that just came off the East Coast here. This has got a 10% chance of developing by tomorrow. If this doesn't become anything, which it's not more than likely going to, this will be out of here by tomorrow. I don't expect this to do anything. What I am watching for is a new area to pop up down here. So I'm interested in this because this is where our next wave is going to go. I can actually show you guys here. Hold on a minute. So this is what I'm watching. This is our next tropical wave. It is still in Africa, so this will come off the coast of Africa here. If it can hold itself together by Monday or Tuesday of next week, we may have our next depression or storm coming. That's the wave I'm watching. Yeah, 98L didn't do anything. It ran out of time. If it would have had a lot more time over the waters there in the Gulf, we would have had something going on in Texas, but we didn't, thank God. But this is the next wave that I'm watching here. We should get an AOI to watch. Once that happens, I'll do a video on it and talk about it, or if it happens on a live stream, it happens. But we should get a new area to watch behind this. And I know everybody's going to jump to model runs and say, oh my god, a Cat 3 is coming to Florida, a Cat 3 is coming to the Southeast. The odds of a landfall will probably go up on the next system just due to the ridging that we're going to see in Bermuda, but it doesn't mean it's going right for the U.S. quite yet. We got a lot of things we got to watch. It's a 14-day trend once again. We will have to watch another couple of weeks worth of long tracking before we get something, but this system will probably move a little bit closer. Or move a little bit faster, but that is our next wave there that we're watching. So, yes, there are models out there that are showing a hurricane by next week. There is 100%, but you guys know within a 5 to 7 day window when we're tracking storms and watching for storms, it's not set in stone. We weren't forecasting Erin to become a Cat 5 at all in its entirety, and it's a Cat 5 right now. So that goes to tell you guys, even within short range time frame forecasting, it's air. Yeah, the Bermuda High suppresses the storms. So tropical storms like to go under paths of least resistance. So when I mean that is a high pressure is going to have more strength and more resistance than a tropical system, even with a Cat 5 hurricane, because it's so compact, it's so small. But a high pressure overall, strengthens. It's going to have a pretty good forcing. So what happened with Erin is Erin's basically staying underneath that path, and until that ridge weakens just enough, it'll slip underneath the ridge and go out to sea is what we're waiting to see happen. So, but the Bermuda High can act as a wall. It can keep storms suppressed. It can bring them toward the United States, or if the ridge is weak enough, it'll pull it out to sea, which is kind of what we're seeing in this situation here. So, I think they're going to go in one more time on this. So you guys can see right now how like the GFS model is keeping our ridge weaker. It'll slip through and get caught up out to sea more than likely here. But next week will be a little bit different. That's what I'm watching for. So the ridge will be, you can kind of start to see Erin moves out here and the ridge starts to build back next week. So if we do in fact get a storm that comes off next week, it will more than likely either head in this direction or it'll head in this direction. Yep, some do go to Florida. Florida, when we have a blocking Bermuda Ridge and we have a wave that comes off the coast of Africa and it goes into the MDR, the major development region, that's when we have to watch Florida, especially because most of the storms will track in the direction. If the models were right next week and we actually get a storm that validates, we could be watching something heading this direction next week. It's 100% it's possible. But until we officially get that wave off the coast and we get models trending with it and we get ensembles trending with it and we see what's going to happen, that's when we start to kind of look at things. New York is fine. You guys are fine in New York. So just a lot of things that we watch. The water temps are warm. We know that. The things are primed for the next system here. So we'll just see what happens. But got a lot of time to watch the next one, which is good. Just be prepared if you're on the East Coast or if you live in a hurricane-prone area. It's fucking hurricane season, for crying out loud. People should be prepared. If you guys learned anything from Helene last year, just be prepared. It's hurricane season. Erin is a Cat 5. Yes, it is a Cat 5. Erin is going through it right now. It's possible, Anthony. Yeah, 100%. It's possible. Yep, Helene, Milton, and Barrow. Yep. And now we'll add this one to the list. Yeah, Milton was awful. Milton may have only been a Cat 3 inland, which was ridiculous, but God, Milton exhausted me last year. We watched Milton for hours. Milton caused the worst tornado outbreak I've ever seen in my life for the state of Florida. We had multiple EF3 wedge tornadoes in around Port St. Lucie last year with the outer bands of Milton. That's another thing, guys. When we have hurricane landfalls that do happen, you got to pay attention to the dirty side, the outer bands. Those can cause massive tornado outbreaks on top of it. Yeah, Milton was on something. Jersey Shore, you guys are fine right now. Yeah, 127 warnings during Milton. Yeah, it was wild. Yeah, it was definitely wild for sure. Yeah, I think there was just a little bit of a shift north there. We'll see. Kind of see that little bit of a nudge. Thing looks like a buzzsaw. Very, very impressive. It's very, very pretty on radar. It's not very often you get one of these storms just kind of sitting out here doing its thing. What was one that did this last year? Laney, what do you mean it went under? It was just Milton that went through the rapid intensification last year. Yeah, it was huge. It was. It was very, very huge. Thank you guys for the gifts. I appreciate it. All right. So I'm staying here just a little bit longer, guys. I wonder if we're going to get a new recon pass through again. We'll see if I think they're going to go through one more time. Very, very impressive. Yeah, so GFS still has that recurve happening. So once again, Bermuda High looks to start kind of building back in toward the beginning of next week. High pressure back over here into the plains, Midwest, and then this trough, this little piece of energy right here, is what's kicking Erin out to sea, basically. Yeah, this ridge will be a huge factor for next week. See if we get a storm or not. Did you guys see the little pull there to north? Watch the last couple of frames here. You saw that little shift northwest, right? Yep. She wobbling. We should be seeing that eyewall replacement cycle here soon. Yeah, it's not going to go to the States. Mandy, low end chance for damaging winds later on this afternoon. Low end tornado risk. You should mostly be okay, though, I think. Just be mindful of storms this afternoon. Oh, far northeastern, then you're fine. That was a model run over 10 days out on the GFS, so I don't believe it right now. I don't believe model runs over 10 days out, let alone 7 days. Yeah, you should be fine, Mandy. Once again, guys, I appreciate y'all for joining here. If you don't follow me, do hit that follow button. Also, consider subbing to me over on YT. I do appreciate it very much. We're going to be on here for just a few more minutes here, and then I'm going to get off for a little bit, and I'm going to do another live stream update this afternoon, probably around 4 or 5 o'clock when we get our next Cone update, just for the heck of it. But right now, rest assured, if you're on the East Coast, no U.S. threats are expected. This will be, other than rip currents and waves, this will be an out-to-sea storm. That is what is forecasted, and I will stick with that forecast. I have very high confidence in NHC and the model runs. I do want to see what the rest of the GFS is doing, though. We're just kind of waiting on it to come in and kind of render in. Oh, man. I want to see the next. They're going to do one more fly through, I think, on this, too. I appreciate it, David. I appreciate you and Richie for hopping in, as always. You guys are an amazing support system. It means a lot. God, David and Richie, we've been friends for, I think, almost 4 years now, I feel like. It's crazy. No, it's on a West track right now. Also, to all of my weather team in here, I appreciate you guys. And Laney, thank you. Thank you guys, as always, for being in here. I wasn't planning on doing a stream this morning, and I woke up and I saw the advisory and said, oh, shit. We need to get on and do a stream. North Carolina's fine, other than the rip currents on the East Coast. High waves, just be mindful. You're probably not going to be able to go to the beach next week. I'm starving, guys. I haven't eaten anything yet this morning, and it's almost lunchtime. I'll be right back. Hold on. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, it was just severe thunderstorm warning in Georgia. What's an easy way to forecast pulse severe thunderstorms in advance? That's a hard one, Tanner. I honestly don't know on that one. I honestly don't know. Oh, Connor's calling us. Hold on, y'all. Hello?
916 millibar.
Dude, it's crazy. It's starting to jog northwest now, too.
Holy crap.
Dude, I know. I think it's going to try to make a run, potentially at 9, maybe. We'll see.
134 knot flight level wind.
Yeah.
So one of my mods said there was 170 mile per hour flight level winds.
Yeah, I saw a 180 gust, too. Yeah.
What happened?
I saw a 180 gust, too, as well, reported on the recon. Yeah. I don't know if you saw the satellite imagery. It did look like it just got pulled to the northwest a little bit, too.
She's a feisty girl.
Yeah, she is. Yep.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. How far do you think this pressure gets down?
Dude, I mean, the Icon had a 905, so could we get close to Milton last year with an 897?
I can't remember. I don't think I've ever seen storm enter the 8s in the Atlantic Basin. I've seen it, Wilma in the Caribbean.
Yep.
And then we've seen Milton in the Gulf.
Yep. Not in the Atlantic Basin now.
I can't remember seeing a hurricane in the Atlantic Basin. I know has it happened? Probably happened before. I just haven't seen it.
It's been a while. I'll have to do some researching and see myself as well. I feel like it has, but it's been a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chat's saying hi to you, by the way.
What happened?
Chat's saying hi to you.
What's poppin', chat? I'm live streaming now too. So
Connor's live too, guys. Go check him out.
That's right.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah, everyone leave Matt and come to me. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm actually gonna be getting off here soon, so I'll be getting off here soon, so they'll probably head over there anyways.
All right, yeah, send them over here whenever you're off.
I'll do it, bud.
All right, see ya. Yeah,
when I get off here, guys, you guys can go watch Connor. He's live on TikTok as well. He's awesome. We love Connor. Oh. I gotta post a video update whenever I get off here too, so. I want to see this next fly through if they're gonna fly through again. I'm curious. It's Connor's Climate Corner. That's where you guys can go when I get off here. He'll be talking about it. He's awesome. He's super awesome. If somebody wants to pin his handle, they can. But crazy 916 millibar, 917 millibar Cat 5 hurricane right now, guys. Yeah, this is just wild. She is trending northwest though, which is good. Yeah, it's better, Meg. You're good. You're good. I know, Liz. Cat 5, 917 millibars. Guys, once again, we had a Cat 1 hurricane yesterday at 75 miles per hour, and it's now a Cat 5 24 hours later. It is wild. Wild stuff. Crazy. I'm gonna go to the upper levels here. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It is going, it's looking like the eye wall is consolidating too. So we're gonna probably see an eye wall replacement cycle here very, very soon. Damn, Ryan got a little aggressive there. Block that person. Jesus. That was very aggressive. Crazy. Sorry, I don't answer to little kids that act like little kids. Yeah, you guys can see how the eye wall is getting very, very, very closed up there. I thought there used to be like a, I guess they turned it off. There used to be a 3D version on here where you could see it a little bit better, but I guess there's not anymore. That sucks. Yeah, thank God it's not going to Florida. I know, right? It's going out to sea. It's going out to sea, guys. We'll feed the hurricane warm waters. Warm waters, pretty much. That's about it. There's some other factors we could get into, but I just can't get over watching this. This just is crazy. Look at that. Ugh. So you guys, like I said, can see we're right at between 19.5 degrees longitude, starting to see a curve to the north here, as expected. Yeah, rough. The waves will be rough. We're gonna do more of a wave talk this afternoon tonight when I do my second update this evening. But we'll do that. We'll do that then. But the waves will be pretty rough. Um, they're gonna have to go into this again. I'm just waiting on it. Alrighty, guys. So here is the thing. I want you guys to see. This is our new GFS model coming in now. This is through next Wednesday. This is what we're going to be watching right here. This little guy, this little low pressure system that's going to pop up on Tuesday or Wednesday. That's in about 3 or 4 days. This is what you guys are seeing all the hype about. This is Erin still sitting out here going out to sea. This is what we're going to have to watch, all right? Because the model runs do have a pretty favorable environment next week for another system. And there it goes. We could have a tropical storm or tropical depression by next Thursday or Friday, at least on the GFS. That's what one run is showing here. This is definitely not going to be a hurricane next week, that's for sure. But what I do worry about is a southern track, and a southern track would more than likely go into the Gulf with the steering pattern that we're going to have. So we're going to have to watch this going in the next week. So we'll see what happens with this, but this would have a storm headed our direction next week, potentially. I did see the beacon. Whose is it, is my question. Hopefully he does too, JR. I do too. Thank you for the follow, Danny. Appreciate it. Yeah, come back tonight. I'll have some answers for you. Crazy. I appreciate you guys for joining in this morning. The size of the eye just determines the pressure inside. Mostly, the smaller compact eye typically means the storm is more healthy. Or it just depends. There's a lot of different things you can scope out with it. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Jen. There's always that small 5% chance, 1 to 5% chance, but pretty confident, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, Brian. It's crazy, dude. By the way, if anybody wants to message me, if anybody is interested in one-on-one meteorology lessons, feel free to message me. I'll be opening that up. Shoot me a message. I appreciate you guys very, very, very much, as always. Do hit that follow button as well if you are new. We're almost at 90K followers. We're right almost there. No, it would just trend a little bit further to the west, Jen, in terms of the track, but it would still shift to the north. It should. Mostly. Thank you guys for the follows. And the GFS has a hurricane by next Friday morning, south of the islands here. That's crazy. Nelly, not necessarily. It just depends on lows, highs, dry air. There's about a million things that goes into forecasting a rapid intensifying storm. I would think that there would be the chance for the next one. We'll just see. We'll just see where it goes, what happens with it. We'll talk more about that early next week. So as we get closer to like Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll know more on that. It is a Cat 5, Avery. It is a Cat 5. Yeah, if anybody ever wants to message me, anything you guys can as well. Like I said, I can answer questions. I'll be getting off stream here in just a few minutes. I'll be able to answer some questions. Once again, if anybody wants any one-on-one meteorology lessons, just message me as well. Let me know. But yeah, I got you guys. No, Erin's not creating a second eye. It's going to go through an eye wall replacement cycle. That's what it's going to do. It's just so that the storm can increase in size. The pressure gets so tight, and then the eye wall will collapse, and then it'll rebuild. Starting to shift northwest now. It is on a northwest trend. This is what I told you guys was going to happen. Erin was going to trend northwest, and it's trending northwest. So for all the people in here that are thinking that this is going to come towards Florida or anything else, we expect a northwest trend. This is the next one we're watching for next week, so the one we'll be talking about as we go towards the next weekend. We got a busy next couple of weeks, guys. Really, next couple of months is what I should say at that point. Anybody's got any more questions before I get off, feel free to ask them. Do we have severe weather somewhere? Oh, we got one little severe thunderstorm warning down here in Brunswick. Oh, it's Torpos too. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, Brunswick, you got a little storm here. It is under severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Probably a water spout. It looked like it was a water spout at one point coming off land. Worst of it looks to be north now up towards the... actually, it is for Brunswick there. Yeah, Brunswick, Gordon, Oaks, Holmes. Be mindful here. You got Torpos, severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, St. Simons, it's going to go northwest of you guys there in St. Simons. Yeah, you're fine, Lizzie. All right, we're going to stay on here one more time. The plane is about to go back into this for one more reading. I want to see what it says. See if we get below 910. We'll see if we get a tug below 910. What is up, U.S. Lawrence? It's not going to go up the East Coast for the 1 millionth time. For people that are saying it's going to go up the East Coast, it's not. It's a very, very, very low chance. Hey, if it goes north, that's completely fine. It's now north of the center of the cone. Any big storms hitting Michigan today? No, not too much. They updated the cone an hour ago. Yeah, about an hour ago. Not the model showing a Cat 3 next Saturday. That's crazy. We're going to watch for another system behind it. It's not quite yet established yet. Thank you for all the gifts, guys. I appreciate it. I just want to see this one more run through and see what it does. Just means if it were to hit anything, it would be catastrophic. It's a Cat 5 hurricane. It's going to do horrific damage if it did go over somewhere. Cone shifted west slightly, but it's now on a northern track. You can see it. Yeah, she's gonna go out to sea. That's a wild joke. I don't know who that is, Jen. Is it a person that does weather? Oh, me and Andrew Markowitz are good friends. We talk a lot. Me and Andrew were great friends. Oh, the track. Oh, I don't use it. I've never even heard of it personally. Yeah, I've never heard of that website or an app. I can look into it and see. Oh, this is awful. We don't want to see this. My radar's good. Yeah, my radar's a good one. We'll get one more pressure reading on this. Thank you guys for the follows. I appreciate it. Yeah, this thing looks very impressive. Yeah, they did, Carolina Girl. They did. Rain showers. You're in that flood watch over there, Nicole and Kerrville, from the tropical downpours coming in from that invest that we had over the Gulf yesterday. 3 to 4 inches of rain possible. Yep, it's moving north now. Yep. It did get lifted. Okay, never mind then. Okay, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, I would stay away from beaches this weekend. Yes, this weekend and next week mostly. All right, plane is almost in there. Yeah, I told you guys it's gonna be moving north. It's just when does that northern trend happen? Everybody was sitting here saying I'm crazy. Let's go back to our fantasy model run. Damn, it just has it slamming into Puerto Rico next weekend. It's a weird run. It brings it back up to tropical storm status after it makes landfall in Puerto Rico. It's not a hurricane behind it yet. We're just looking at the models. Rip currents when wave swells underneath of the ocean bedding pull out, and you can it can kill you basically if you're out in the water and you get stuck in a rip current. Just swells underwater, you can't see. Be a weird track and storm. San Juan right now, your hurricane is just to the north of you guys. Good thing is it's trending north. Hold on one second, I'm reading some guys. Yep, so we're officially getting that northern turn, guys. It's the troughing and the weakness in the ridge. That's what's causing it to go north. Yeah, still west northwest, but it'll be on that track for a while though. So we're seeing what we thought we were gonna see finally. But that's the point Mia made. God, this is next week is wild. It's not gonna make landfall, Cat. It's not. I'm not gonna answer that question either. I don't want to give a false sense of information on that. Yeah, I'm looking at it, Laney. Is there producing earthquakes? That'd be something. That'd be something. Yeah, Laney, we may have something to watch again next week for you. What's up, Tiffany? Good to see you. Tiff, I absolutely loved your. I love your bio. Team Lizard is wild. I absolutely love that. Yeah, that's awesome. Lizard, 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 lizard. I love that. Oh. It's not going to, Tiff. It's already on a northwest jog. It's not going to. I promise you, there is you have a better chance at winning the lottery than this storm hitting North Carolina. There will be wet rip currents and waves on the East Coast, but we're not expecting a landfall. I promise you're gonna be good. Yeah, I want to take a holiday too at this point. I feel that. Yeah, Florida's good for this one. Next week may be different. We'll be talking next week. Next week we could be looking at something headed toward the United States. It's very possible. Yeah, but we had forecasting back in 2008 when Florence happened. Tiffany, forecasting was awful. We've made so much headway with forecasting. I don't think in the last 10 years, other than Irma, back in 2018, we've not had any forecasts go completely south like this. So I think you're going to be fine. If there was even the slightest chance of that happening, I would have said it already. Well, there you go, Laney. That's what we don't want to see for next week. So this is the following week's system that we're watching. Maybe a hurricane actually coming towards Florida next week. We'll have to watch that very closely. We're not going to say all right now what's going to happen with that because that wave is still officially in Africa. Once that comes off the coast, tomorrow and Monday, we will talk about it. But until we get an AOI to watch, this is just model runs at this point. If you're on the East Coast next week, you definitely need to be watching. That's for sure. I just want to see this update. That's all I want to see. Oh, Ellen, no, no, no. You'll be fine, girl. Good to see you, by the way. You'll be fine, though. I thought I followed you, Ellen. That's weird. Yeah, you'll be fine. God, I feel like I just talked to you last year during y'all's event. That's crazy that it's been that long already, too. I hope you guys are doing well. Trust me, Ellen. Kendall talks to me on a daily basis, asking me if something's coming. I promise I will let you know a week in advance if you got an issue coming your way. I promise. People think that this storm is going to hit the East Coast, and it's not. It's going to bring rip currents and waves, but there will not be a landfall. Can't say there won't be some wind, some light wind, but it won't be anything crazy. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so they passed through. All right, they quite haven't gone through all the way yet. Pressure's at 970, so they haven't gone all the way through yet. Yes, it is a 5 now, yes. No, you're good, Tiff. You're good. All of you guys, I respect it. You guys are good. Yeah, next week we'll be watching for a storm that could go into the not North Carolina, but into the East Coast. We'll be watching this very closely next week. At this time next weekend, we could be covering a landfalling storm somewhere in the United States. Not going to say yet because it's still way, way out, but we could be looking at something in 7 days. It is definitely possible. So we got a lot to track next week. It'll be a very busy week next week, guys. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel. We'll keep you guys updated on that. I just want to see this pressure reading is all I want to see. Don't get caught up into all the model runs, though, because until we get an official storm and until we get data on that storm, it does not mean nothing. Models do not mean nothing over 7 days out. You guys should know that at this point. So although the GFS model is putting a Cat 4 hurricane in the Gulf next week, and just outside of Florida, doesn't mean that that's going to happen. This is the following Tuesday, the 26th. This is over 10 days out. We are in La La Land at that point. I will not say that this is going to happen. Now, going towards Tuesday and Wednesday, this is what we're watching is this area right in here. There's not an AOI yet from the National Hurricane Center. There should be here soon. But once we get an extra area to watch here, we will get on here. We'll start to talk about it. But I am not going to say that we are going to have a hurricane coming toward the United States next week when we do not. We do not. So this is La La Land. You will see people post this on social media today because they want to fearmonger and they want to make money off of their videos. So do not buy that crap that you guys see on social media today, please. It is, Ro. Bro, you've missed so much. You have missed so much. We went from a Cat 1 yesterday morning to a Cat 5 today, and it's still strengthening. I'm going to be getting off here in just a few minutes, babe. So, I've been on here for 3 hours, so. The latest advisory is a Cat 5 with pressure at 917 and wind speeds at 160. No, you're fine, babe. Yeah, 917 is the latest on that. Lainey, there's your GFS run for next week. There you go. That's next week, folks. We'll be watching. I just want to see this next update. Yeah, literally, Justin. So the second that the National Hurricane Center puts an AOI out is when I will start mentioning the next one. Let me see if we've got any ensembles that are doing it. Excuse me. Yeah, so we do have model agreement on something next week. So this is where that wave's going to come off next week. There is Erin. Erin will go out to sea, and then this will be the next wave that we watch. Where does this go is the question mark. But remember too, Tiffany, once again, our forecasting during Katrina was awful. Our forecasting is so much better. There's been 2 times in the last 10 years plus where a storm has completely outdone its forecast. And even when Irma happened in 2017, or 2018, there were 2 ensembles that showed it going that way. We don't have any ensembles or any model runs signifying a landfall. There is no anything showing a landfall anywhere right now for Erin. And Erin's already trending north, so it will stay north, more than likely, northwest. I know it's hard because people have trauma, and that's 100% respectable and understandable, but you can't just go off of that. Our portion, or we're saying to be prepared on the East Coast, but if you're well far inland, you're fine. This will more than likely, like I said, do that. The size of the storm doesn't dictate as well when it turns or doesn't turn. It's the steering mechanisms, the highs, the lows that pull these things. Yes, Erin is huge, and is continuing. It was going west, but it's now on a northwest trend, so it's already started that northwest trend. Yeah, so just be mindful. You could see some impacts in terms of rip currents and waves, but there is no forecast for Erin to move even semi close to produce anything ridiculous for you guys. It'll just be a breezy day with some crazy waves at the beach, basically, going through next week. I mean that full heartedly, from the bottom of my heart. If there was anything to be concerned about, I would say it. This would be awful for next week, though, if we got that to verify. I just want to see the next recon is all I want to see. No, you won't be able to see Erin from the coast. No, it's still far out. From Puerto Rico, maybe. I just want to see this next flyby, and then we're going to wrap stream up, guys. And then we're going to do another update this afternoon tonight. It's already started to turn, guys. That's the thing. It's already turning northwest. It's already started that turn, officially. Models are models. A stronger storm will pull west further. Models are not 100% going to be able to grasp onto the intensity track very, very well, but it can in terms of do better with tracking. It's not just going to decide to just go. That's not logical. There is a reason why that happens and why it doesn't happen. Can this update? I just need one more frame. No, it's not going to hit Long Island. Oh my gosh. Do I need to put a banner up on top of the stream that says no U.S. impacts expected other than high waves and surfing problems and rip currents? That needs to be what I say at this point. I'm not even joking. I may have to fix that on the next stream. I will probably need to do that. But there will always be the people that can't see that and read it. Or they don't believe it. That's another thing. Well, there is your GFS 12Z hurricane run. Puts a Cat 4 in the panhandle again. This is over 250 hours out, so this will more than likely change. But not something good you want to see on model trends. This has been trending for a couple days now. So until we see the European and some other runs pick it up, I'm not going to buy it right now, but not a trend you want to see on the GFS. You'll see people post that today, though, saying that we're going to have a Helene repeat. Watch. Somebody will say it. Erin's a Cat 5, guys. Erin is a Cat 5. All right, here we go. Pressure is going up. So pressure is going up, which means we are going to see an eye wall replacement cycle. Pressure is back up to 921. So it's increased 8 millibars. So that is good. That means we're going to go through an eyewall replacement cycle. So it is no longer strengthening is what it looks to be. It looks like it's on a little bit of a weakening trend here just because it's going to go through an eyewall replacement cycle. Yeah, we don't have any wind gusts that are higher than 135, 152. We had a 152 in there, so might see a little bit more strengthening on the next update, but it does look like the pressure has gone back up a little bit. So, alrighty, guys, I am going to get off here and make a quick little video edit, and then I'll be back on stream with another update in a couple hours with you guys. I appreciate y'all for watching as always. Make sure you guys hit the follow button if you guys haven't yet. We've been on here for 3 hours. I need to get off and take a break. I will see you guys all back here again a little bit on YouTube and on TikTok. Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe. Thank you for all the taps, all the gifts, all the loves, all the follows, and I'll see you guys back in here again in a little bit. Goodbye.